Let's go.
What's going on, film fans? You probably heard Wes in there yelling at me, telling me to hurry up. We're a little bit behind. Anyhow, we're back with another video. We are the usual skeptics. What do we talk about here? We talk movie news, the latest and greatest in all things movie streaming, all sorts of good stuff. And as always, Wes, how are you, man? Even though we're a little late.
I'm doing good if you'd hurry the hell up. Anyway, I'm doing great, man. So let's go ahead and get into things so that we can get right to the point tonight.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We were going to start with just a couple topics, and then literally right before we went air, some sad news dropped, and Wes will go ahead and get into that. So Wes and I, if you followed us for any period of time, Wes and I love Peacemaker. Literally one of the best shows on TV. Certainly DC's best show over Titans, Arrow. You know, not such a high bar, but Peacemaker blows everything out of the water. I think it's even better than WandaVision. And y'all know how much I love WandaVision. Besides The Boys, yes, The Boys is far superior, but leaving that out of it, Peacemaker is awesome. Well, Wes, it looks like we're going to have to wait, man. It looks like we're going to have to wait. So this comes to us.
I told you.
Well, yes, you did tell me, but this does come to us from the Direct here, little article they threw together. Peacemaker Season 2 gets new release date update from showrunner. So according to James Gunn, fans will have to wait before Season 2 of Peacemaker is released. Basically it goes through here, and on Twitter, a fan asked James Gunn about the current state of Peacemaker and if it was going to be released at all. Gunn replied by saying yes after Superman, but the catch is Superman Legacy, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, one of the main topics, is set to be released on July 11th, 2025. So Wes, it's going to be looking to cut just over 2 years. Man, you hearing this? What do you think about this? Is your heart broken like mine?
I told you earlier, like whenever I told you, you were like, nah, man, nah. Where'd you hear that from? Because you never believe me whenever I tell you. But whenever I found out, I was really upset about it. That's 2 years that we're having to wait, which means that's going to be an extra, 3 to 4 years before we get another Peacemaker. Like, how relevant is it going to be at that point in time?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good decision or not, to be honest. So, but that's just me. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, the creator did take on one of the biggest roles in Hollywood, taking over a literally entire movie division. So, I mean, I'll give James Gunn a pass for that. But if there's one thing, and you and I have been raving about James Gunn over the last couple months, ever since, not only is he a talented filmmaker, but now he's ahead of DC Studios. Like, the man's a genius, right? But if we're going to wait, like we talked about last night's stream, as Wes getting blown up here, we're getting closer to Superman Legacy and all that, not only is he a great filmmaker, which we know his stuff's going to be great, but like we talked about House of Dragon during the writer's strike, well, they're going to continue filming, but we talked about, how's that going to work where there's no writers? But I would rather wait and get a solid season 2 than for them just like half-ass it and just let it come out. So, I mean, it is what it is. But what do y'all think about this news? Do you like Peacemaker? Are you excited for Peacemaker Season 2? Let us know what you think. And by the way, Wes, we did talk about this just a few minutes ago, so we're going to try something new. Last night, we were kind of all over the place. What we're going to try and do this time, because we didn't know how many chats we would get during the stream, and we'd like to catch up with all of them. So if you have a question or have a comment about what we're talking about, or just general questions, or about these topics we're going to discuss, fire them on in, and then after the main topic here in a little bit, we're going to be discussing how Mario is the newest film to hit the $1 billion club. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go through and read all y'all's comments. So, all right, with that out of the way, Wes, let's go ahead and dive into first topic. Wes, do you want to lead us off with the first one?
Which one are we doing first?
Oh, Yellowstone. Okay. Sorry.
Yellowstone. Okay. So Yellowstone, I was the one who watched Yellowstone first, and I was late on it. So I didn't start until it was like in season 3. And all my friends were like, no, bro, like you have to watch this. Like, you got to watch this show. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, okay. Like, I really don't like Western style stuff, like Westerns, but dude, this is not Western at all.
No,
and
certainly not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went in, open mind, and me and my wife always give a show 3 episodes, and because the first one could be really good, second one could be dog, and the third one could be the make or break.
Right.
So, bro, I could not. Me and my wife could not stop watching the show. So good.
Talk about binge
So
worthy.
good. Yeah, it's such a great show. So, and we watched it, and then I told Gabe while I was watching, I was like, bro, like Yellowstone's. He's like, man, I don't know, and I'm like, okay, whatever, Well,
yes, he did.
We took the hiatus for a long time, came back, called him up. He was like, dude, Yellowstone, and I was like, yeah, I've been telling.
Like that was all I told him. I was like, Yellowstone, and he's like, oh my god, you finally watched it. My wife and I could not stop because, and I try to watch all these premiere shows with my wife because want her to watch stuff with me. Sue me. But yeah, this was one. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Kevin Costner. Like Wes, I mean, I wasn't too thrilled about because I didn't really hear much about it, but you raved about it for months because you watched it like almost a year ago, and that's when you caught up. And dude, we could not stop watching it. Well, we've been hearing for about 2 months now that Kevin Costner has reportedly, been having drama behind the set, not been happy with Taylor Sheridan and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really interesting to see because they end on not necessarily a cliffhanger, but the way they end the mid-season. It's not even the whole season.
Mid-season, man. I was like, dude, it's mid-season.
It's mid-season. They drop the if you haven't caught up by now, whatever. But they're setting up a climax between Kevin Costner, what's his name, John Dutton, and Jamie's character. They're about to clash. And now the star's not potentially not coming back, but apparently he's been having issues. We've been hearing some not like so good things, but then again, none of the major trades have ran with it per se. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So this comes to us from ET. We finally got some almost confirmation news, but let's go ahead and dive into this. So, like I said, from ET, Yellowstone, Kevin Costner not returning after season 5 exclusive. We'll dive into this just a little bit. We'll give her a little pop up. There we go.
Getting the cannon out of the way.
We're getting there. Get out of the way. You got like 13 kids you got to take care of. Kevin Costner is not returning to Yellowstone after season 5. Sources close to production tell ET. The news comes after reports, which we talked about, alleged drama between the star of Paramount Network series and co-creator, who is also an actor in not only Yellowstone, but one of the other spin-off shows as well. I think 1883 maybe. I could be wrong on that one, but he's in the other one. Taylor Sheridan. Over the actor's filming commitments to the remaining episodes of the current season. Additional sources also tell ET that there is no update on when the cast and crew are going to return to Montana, where the series is filmed on location at the actual Yellowstone Ranch. To finish shooting season 5's remaining episodes halfway through. We haven't even finished the season. As a result, there's been a lot of confusion and frustration that it has. ET has reached out to Costner's reps, blah, 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 blah. That's my dog in the background, if y'all can hear that. I'm sorry. The update on Costner's status in Yellowstone comes after he, Sheridan, as well as the rest of the cast were no-shows at a previously announced panel at PallyFest in Los Angeles. This came nearly 2 months after it was first reported that Yellowstone might come to an end in its current form sooner than expected amid a deadline report alleging disagreements over Costner's filming schedule. And now we were hoping they were going to iron this out, at the time. We were like, yeah, they'll work it out. But Yellowstone is really in limbo right now, but they can't figure out whether Costner is coming back or not. More likely, whether he's going to be written out of the show. Baloney explained, once the determination is made, they can finish writing the second half of the season, shoot it, and it will likely air in the fall. Wes, this doesn't look good for anybody if you're a fan of Yellowstone. I'm going to go ahead and call it at this point. Now, I've been optimistic, but at this point, I think if anything, they'll get him back for the remaining episodes and then kill the character off. I don't know why they won't recast it, but he's been such a pivotal part.
They shouldn't. No. They don't need to recast it. They don't need to recast it. They need to. No.
He needs to come back though. Like they need.
No, he needs to come back to finish to finish this season. But don't don't recast. That's stupid. No, like you could get rid of John Dutton right now, Kevin Costner,
Right.
and still have an amazing show with all the side characters that you've built up. It's
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
character building for every character. Every side character has a great like side story build up and character development, like
Yeah.
all of them do.
That's what I was going to say,
So,
because there's
it's
so
like
many good
if you
characters that why not continue with or without?
here's the thing. Here's what they could do. If they do kill him off, they could have an all-out war between Jamie and Beth. You get
And
what I'm
that's been
saying?
building up too.
And that's been building
certainly
up.
been
So
building up.
that could be the turning point
Right.
where, say, you know, and this is my prediction, like say they do write him off the show, then they're gonna have him killed, right? It's gonna look like Jamie did it, but Jamie really didn't do it. Beth's gonna think that Jamie did it. And
That's
if you know Yellowstone, you know exactly what I'm talking
oh
about
yes, she's always blaming him for something.
because I'm going to confuse a lot of people that haven't seen
Yeah.
the show. So, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
If they're going to kill him off, it'll look like Jamie did it. Jamie didn't do it. Then Beth's going to think that Jamie did it, and then the big villain will be revealed in the next season if they decide to do that. If they don't, and they want to
Yeah.
end the show, I'm perfectly okay with them ending the show as long as they end it on the right way.
I'm fine with that. Just don't end it after a cliffhanger that's not going to finish out the story they've been trying to tell for 5 seasons. Like
Right,
that.
right.
That's where it's become. And
Yeah.
and hey, if they want to do these 5 episodes, like you said, just build an all-out war between kind of everybody, and then that's it. I'd be totally okay with that because I trust Taylor Sheridan as a writer to figure this out. Anyhow, what do y'all think about this news? What do you think about Yellowstone? What do you think about Kevin Costner potentially not coming back? We also heard Matthew McConaughey as well.
Sorry, guys, I got
could be-
allergies today.
could be coming, into the Yellowstone universe, and people were like, "Oh, well, maybe he can, be the new John Dutton." But I don't think so. I think he'll be a new character. But anyhow, whether that's true or not, that remains to be seen. But Wes, that's the news, man, that sucks. But whatever y'all think, let us know in the comments and let us know what you think. All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into topic number 2. So one of the greatest sci-fi films to come out, I'd say in the last several years, I'd say probably 5 to 10 years, or about a decade, is Dune. And a lot of film buffs really, at least in my circles, really enjoyed this film. I like the first one, and with everything coming out with COVID, it came out during an awkward time. Hit the Academy Awards, wide open. A lot of good things come out of this movie, and there, I would say not Star Wars level good, but it's a solid sci-fi film. Well, we finally got a trailer today, and that Wes and I almost forgot to watch before the stream, even though this is what we were going to talk about. And I'm so glad we did. We watched it just before we went air, and Wes, let me tell you, this was fantastic. We didn't talk about the trailer. You and I both watched it right here. Kind of watched it on my end. You watched it on your end, and we were like, "We'll talk about it." Wes, what are your general thoughts of Dune 2?
Oh man. So yeah, we watched this like right before we came on, and like I looked up at Gabe and was like, "Bro," and he was like, "So what did you think?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm not gonna tell you right now." Like we gotta, like he was like, "Oh yeah, let's just wait." It's like, "Yeah, dummy." So dude, oh, amazing trailer, man. What's his name that plays Elvis? Butler.
Oh,
Looks
Austin Butler.
awesome. He
Looks great.
He looks awesome. Dude, that whole sequence, if that's what the action that I'm gonna get in this film, I'm good with it because I think the last film, and me and Gabe did talk about it just for a second. I think the first film, the run time was really long and it kind of drawn out, but story, and all that was amazing. It was a great movie. I'm not hating on the movie at all.
Right.
Because the writing was good, the directing, like all that stuff was great, but it ran a little long for me. But by saying that, if I get that action, because there wasn't a lot of action and stuff, it was more storytelling.
More
in that
setting
first,
up. Yeah.
more setting up in that first film. If I'm getting that kind of action, bro, I'm here for it.
There's a big bruh with that one. That
Really.
I think that was my first reaction after watching the trailer.
Yeah.
I looked up at you and I went, bruh. I mean, this film looks fantastic. Josh Brolin looks great. Austin Butler looks great. I love they're kind of pulling off a Gore from Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
Yeah.
With the kind of desaturated colors with Austin Butler, and I think it's working quite well. I think it looks really great on screen, contrasting with all the other more of a brown color palette because they're in a desert. But dude, Paul Atreides is riding a sandworm. Like, what the f,
Yeah.
bruh? Like, are you kidding me? And I love how Javier Bardem. I don't remember anyone's literally like mostly probably like everyone else's name in the movie. I don't remember, but Javier Bardem's character, he's like, "Don't do anything fancy," and he's
Yeah.
like,
He's
through
like,
the
"No,
hook on the
not fancy."
sandworm,
Yeah,
not
he was
fancy.
like, "Not fancy."
Next thing you know, he's like, "What?" But yeah, everybody looks great. I think they brought on a few new actors. Yeah, I think who was the big? Was it Christopher Walken when he added to the
He
I think he
was. I
was.
think so.
But this
I
looks
think he was.
great. I think it looks fantastic. Shot.
Oh, you can forget like Florence Pugh. Come on now.
Florence Pugh, yes, Florence Pugh looks
Bro.
amazing. Like everything, the set design, the visual effects, everything looks fantastic, and I can't wait to see it. But in here, Chalamet said last week at CinemaCon that in the first movie, Paul Atreides is a student. We really see Paul Atreides become a leader here, which was kind of building in the first film. How his dad, the great Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight himself. So I kind of hope we see him again because I love that kind of stoic, attitude that he kind of brought to that character. I thought that was really cool. Dune Part 2 introduces newcomers. I'm going to butcher that as Lady Margaret. Bene Gesserit. I'm drawing a blank. Freeman Warrior and Tim Blake Nelson, who we'll see here soon in Captain America New World Order, returning as the leader, supposedly. Returning to the cast alongside Chalamet and Zendaya are Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Skarsgård, David Bautista, Charlotte Rampling, Stephen McKinley Henderson. Dave Villeneuve directed the sequel and panned it with John Spatz. So, Wes, I can't wait. This instantly jumped to one of my most anticipated films of this year already. Now I've been excited for it, but this trailer, it took me back to that world, right? It took me back.
Bro. And then we got so much more, but like it's we've got a lot of good movies I think coming out. A lot of good movies.
November's going to be huge. I read earlier several huge movies are coming out this November, and Dune's one of them. And it's like, oh my god, this last year was a return to the movies, like with Top Gun Maverick, just came off of No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, and then this year, 2023 we're back at the movies, my friend. And we'll talk about
and I'm here for that too.
We're here for that. We are here. We love the movies. All right. So but yeah, let us know what you guys think. What do you think about Dune? Are you a fan of the first film? Are you a fan of the original back in the 80s? Let us know your thoughts. Are you excited for the second one? Drop your comments below. And Wes, let's move on to the next one, my friend. All right. So Wes and I have been very critical about DC over the last not only its movies, I would say most of the DC movies, like post Christopher Nolan era, have been good. They've been meh to good. Man of Steel, great, right? I really like Shazam. I like the James Gunn Suicide Squad. I generally liked all the rest of them. I didn't like the Harley Quinn one. Thought that was eh. The Flash has been, I think, in production and has been filming over the last 30 years. I think The Flash has been in production for.
It seems like it. It seems
with
like
all the director changes, with all the script changes, with all of Ezra Miller and their violent history. We'll just say that violent past. Well, it looks like one of the filmmakers from The Flash made some interesting comments. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. So, The Flash production designer isn't worried Ezra Miller's history will derail the movie. People will forget that, and
this dude is out of his mind.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about this. And we're not going to go in all the Ezra Miller history. If you know about it, you do. If you don't, go look it up. You're going to find a phone book full of it. As Warner Brothers gears up to release The Flash in theaters this summer, many moviegoers are wondering how star Ezra Miller's history of legal troubles and alleged abuse, not alleged, it was, but by the way, might impact the release. And press tour, the film's production designer, Oscar winner Paul Astroberry, The Shape of Water, fantastic film, isn't sweating it. During a recent interview with CBC, Atterbury said, "People will forget Miller's history when the film releases. As reported by the CBC, Osterberry says he's not too concerned about how the story surrounding Miller will affect the film. People will forget that, he said. Nothing that Miller did a superb job playing the How can I read this with a straight face? Superb job playing the titular hero as two distant characters, which required production to shoot the film in two different chunks, with Ezra switching roles every few days. Wes, you hear this news? I'm gonna throw it to you, man. We're not gonna go in a tirade and all the things that in Ezra's past and all that stuff. But Wes,
my head hurts, bro.
How do you
this
take?
Dude's out of his mind. He's so crazy, bro. You think that dude? That's all people were talking about, and I tried to get you to do a video.
He has. He has. He's like, we need to discuss the Flash, but not just recently.
Times.
You were talking months ago, like. Before we took our hiatus.
Before we took our hiatus, I was like, dude, we got to. We have to talk about.
I was like, no.
He was like, no,
hang on. And
dude,
we get this news, and I'm like, I text Wes and said, we were exchanging show notes, and then just before we went air, I'm like, oh my god, dude, we have a fourth topic, and he's like, oh, what's that? I send him the link. Here it is. I just wanted to read this again because I couldn't.
Dude, this dude is out of his flipping mind, bro.
Look at this. Where did I read this? Sorry, I have to show all this because this is. Oh, where did it say? I'm losing it right now. Anyhow, right here. I think it's cute that they think that Ezra Miller is going to be part of the press tour. I think that's cute. He is not. Sorry, they are not going to be on anything other than maybe a poster.
Bro,
they're not going to be in interviews. They're not going to be like. What's the point? I think dude, it's cute that they think that.
I'm telling you, dude. If he is, it's going to be a shitstorm because the only thing they're going to talk about. They're not going to forget, bro. That's the only thing they're going to talk about. Now. He could give a riveting performance because what I've heard from reviews is that he gives a very emotional, raw performance through this, which is awesome. I'm here for that. But he won't be in another film for DC.
No.
He should not be. And he should not be on the press tour. He should not be doing any interviews. He shouldn't be doing anything. Mm-hmm. If anything, they need to be like, okay, Michael Keaton, we need you to take the spotlight on this one. Legit, dude. I'm not playing around.
Batman featuring the Flash.
Yeah, dude, it's because nobody's gonna forget that.
No.
Nobody.
No. And you and I talked about it years ago.
There's multiple videos of him. There's a video of him throat chopping a woman who was asking for an autograph.
It's bad. It's bad optics. It's bad optics for the actor. And look, and Wes, I don't know you're exact. I don't think we've really talked about this, but I really like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I think they're a great performer. I think that they're real hard raw talent. But as a person, as an individual, I'm like, good Lord, son. But y'all hear this? Sorry.
Oh, the video. You remember the video that I shared with you? Video where he's talking about blaming the North Carolina KKK, and I'm going to come down there.
And that was fairly recent.
Out of his
that was fairly recent.
Now.
Wes and I live in North Carolina, but that was fairly recent too. And it just goes to show to you that not everyone in Hollywood is has a golden star. Ezra Miller lost their golden star a long time ago, but look, I think the film's going to be fantastic. I know a couple people that have seen it. They said you are going to love this movie, but they also followed up with, make no mistake, Ezra Miller will not return as the Flash. Is their career over? That's a different discussion. I personally don't think so. That's a different discussion anyway. But as the Flash, no. And I love James Gunn's. I can't remember exactly how we said it verbatim, but he made a comment. It was around the time they announced the DC slate, and he said, along with Peter Safran, he goes, "Yeah, we just hope Ezra Miller gets the help that they need, and blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, are they saying they're going to return as the Flash? And it's like, no, that was a diplomatic response and saying, no, they're not coming back. So because what else is James Gunn going to say? These are now his movies. Whether he made the Flash or not, James Gunn has to answer for these now. He's attached to all of this now, right? Because the general public's not really going to understand that part. So I don't know. I just thought that this blew my mind. This is wild. What do y'all?
I was like, no way,
No.
dude.
It
This
was
dude
like
is-
it was
that-
like what in the
whoever
world?
said that, he's out of his he
Yeah.
has lost sight of reality because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's all people are going to be talking about.
And look, it's never news when someone from a film basically says good things about their film. It's like breaking news, water wet, right? But look at this here. The Flash production designer isn't worried Ezra Miller's history will derail the movie. People will forget that. There's a difference in ramping up your own movie for marketing's sake, and then there's idiocracy statements such as this.
Well, just go back and read that one. Just go back and read the title. The Flash production designer isn't worried Ezra Miller's history will derail the movie.
Yeah, that yes, but him saying people
Like-
will forget that. That's the part
Yeah,
that I have
they
a problem with.
Yeah, me too.
I think the box office will take a critical hit for Ezra Miller and their history. I think it will, but not
No.
a significant hit.
No, I don't think it will at all.
Not
People-
a
No,
The
people
general-
who
you're
are
right.
everybody
Yeah.
who is like a Michael Keaton Batman fan is like, I don't give a shit what he did. Like, I'm gonna go see it. My wife's the same
Yeah.
way, and like my friends are like, yeah, I don't really care about that. I'm gonna go see the movie anyway. Now, is he a piece of shit? Yeah, he is. But you know, like it. But
Not wrong.
it's facts. But that's what it is. So I'm still gonna go watch the movie. I'm still super excited about it. But do I want him to come back as the Flash? No. Nope. Sorry,
no.
bro.
I mean,
back of the line.
getting back to the line,
Get,
I think
some Grant Gustin. Do
Oh my
him,
God.
bro.
I do think the
Dude,
movie's going
no.
to be great. I do think the movie's going to be great.
You don't like Grant Gustin?
I
Come
like
on,
Grant
man.
Gustin. I just don't think they'll put him as the live action Flash. I don't
They
see the
should.
point in doing that. I don't see
They
the point.
should.
Not
Well,
many
but-
people watch the Flash. It's ending. Rightfully so. I tapped out seasons ago. Well, what do y'all think about the Flash? What do you think about this news? Do you think the production designer is smoking a little something that maybe they shouldn't? Let us know in the comments what you think. Are you excited for the Flash? Do you think it's going to be great? Wes and I think it's going to be great. You and I are going to go see it. We're going to go see the film, but whether it's going to be good or not, that remains to be seen. We're highly optimistic. I know people that have seen it. They said it's great. What do y'all think? Let us know in the comments and let us know your thoughts. All right, man. Let's hop into topic number 3. So in the realm of DC, talking about James Gunn at the beginning of the stream here, you know, when he announced his slate, everyone was excited. I think one of the things that you and I had talked about at first was our boy Henry Cavill's coming back as Superman, because that was
Yeah,
in the
dude.
trades. He's coming back in
Yeah.
Black Adam. He's going to be
He
in.
made a post.
He
bro.
made a post because that's what he was told. Hey, he was paid for it. Man was paid for it. He's got to eat. Henry Cavill got to buy computers and eat. Play World of Warcraft. Well,
That's not what he plays. That's okay. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, Warhammer. Sorry, Warhammer.
There you go.
It was
It's
Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Yes.
I
Well,
was like, no.
James Gunn came out not too long after and was like, "Yeah, Henry Cavill's pretty much done. He like that. That's it. We love Henry. We love what he's done. We love the staple he made with Superman, but his role is done. It is now time to move on from Henry Cavill's Superman." So then it was speculated James Gunn would be directing a Superman film. Turns out that he was hired on to write the script for Superman months before that he got hired on to helm DC Studios with Peter Safran, one of the greatest duos I think is going to be in Hollywood. Like, this team sounds great. Anyhow, Superman Legacy is what they're titling it. Is going to be the first film of the DC slate. So we talked last night's stream about the Writers Guild strike and the impact that's going to have on production and everything like that. And we were worried about we talked about some more shows because movies take longer to make and all that kind of stuff. But movies could be affected as well. Well, it looks like James Gunn's Superman movie may not be affected much at all, virtually nothing at all. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. So it comes to us from The Wrap. James Gunn turned in the first draft of Superman Legacy just before Writer's Strike. And DC Studios' James Gunn, there we go, turned in the first draft of Superman Legacy last week, just days before the Writer's Strike. The Rap has exclusively learned. Gunn is in the midst of casting the DC reboot, which is not expected to be affected by the strike. Since the superhero film is eyeing a Q1 2024 production start, he wrote the script and will direct the film, which I'm so excited. Like, come on, that's gonna be great. Which will introduce a new Superman to kick off a new era of the DC universe. Pre-production kicked off last month with costumes, production design, and more. Now up and running according to Gunn, and he's in the midst of casting as he targets a February 2024 start date. Wes, you hear this news, man? What do you think about Superman Legacy?
Bro, you know Superman's like my favorite, dude. Like, I'm so stoked. Am I sad to see Henry Cavill like not be in it? Of course, but at the same time, like I understand where he's coming from this, because from what I hear, he's like wanting to go with a younger Superman to where he can grow into the you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the direction that he's going. I'll put it that way. I think that it like I said, it's crap that Henry Cavill is not going to be there, but at the same time, like I'm down. I'm really excited about this film.
Yeah,
dude, James Gunn's writing and directing it. He's not giving me anything that I've been like, that was awful. I still have yet to see a film that way.
I've never seen a bad, like even outside the MCU, a bad James Gunn film ever.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's great. It's great. 80s Kid drops #Gunverse, and Bruce. That it is.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm excited for Superman. I mean, indigestion is a bitch. I do not like the fact that we're not getting Henry, but I'm not going to be a crybaby about it, even though I love Man of Steel, man. It's so good. Man of Steel's so good. But, and I love what Zack Snyder brought to that. I love the vision that he kind of set the stage for what that is. And I hear that the Flash film kind of still encapsulates that. And, it was a very big part of the Snyderverse is still very much a big part of the Flash. So that's pretty interesting. But seeing as that he's not in here, yeah, it sucks. It stings a little bit, and it will sting for the foreseeable future. But to have a new Superman, to have a new take, I think it's going to be great. And James Gunn already said, look, this isn't going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy feel. It's not going to have that level of lightheartedness and humor. So I'm down for a new take on Superman. I don't think it's going to be dour like it was Man of Steel, because it was a little desaturated. It was a little,
right.
It was a little, I'm walking around with my head down type of Superman. But I think it's going to be great. I think this film, along with Guardians 3, we're hearing great things about that. Oh, and by the way, before we forget, we said it last night. We're going to Wes. I'm going to see Guardians 3 on Friday, and you are seeing it on Tuesday. But that's our usual schedule is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we are going to, for Tuesday's whole video, we're going to maybe talk about a couple topics. Depends what news drops, but the primary topic of discussion will be the Guardians of the Galaxy spoiler review. So be sure to check us out for that. So we'll be seeing that, and be sure to check us out on Tuesday. So Superman Legacy, West, what do you think about it being the first film, though? What do you think about Superman being the first in here? Do you think that Superman is a good start to the new slate?
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
Yeah. Screw Batman. Whatever.
No. And while I do like Batman over Superman, Superman has to be the cornerstone.
Well, number one, he's the Rock of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Like, legit.
He's the granddaddy of all superheroes.
He is the granddaddy. He's the man of DC. So why would you not start with him? You can't start with these off the wall characters and all that stuff. Now, I'm super excited about some of the other stuff that he's doing,
right.
Like build it, because I think it'll be amazing getting new characters and getting these things in whenever he does. But like, to start off like, hey, this is James Gunn and Peter Safran's, like, this is their stuff. You know what I'm saying? To do that, I think is the best move. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then you're like, okay, here's the staple. Now let me show you some of these other cool characters that we've got. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I
he
think
brought
that's what he's
Polka
trying to
Dot
do.
Man. Man brought Polka Dot Man into the DC universe
Who
and
was
made
who
him
was
great.
one of the best
One of
in
the
Suicide,
best elements, one of the
Suicide
best
Squad.
characters in the movie. I thought it was fantastic. And to have him come in there, I'm just like, oh my God, Dave Dismouchin in here as Polka Dot Man. This thing writes itself. It's great. But what do y'all think about this news? What do you think about Superman Legacy having the first draft submitted? Do you think it's going to be continue to be affected by the writer's strike? Let us know your thoughts on your excitement for the film and drop your comments there. All right, man. So before we go off into our main topic, do you want to go ahead and do your thing? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to take a brief break. Wes has to do something around 11 o'clock every night with his son, so he's going to go take care of that. And so I'm going to take just a couple seconds here. And by the way, if you're watching this, if you haven't already, if you like what you're seeing, please drop a follow, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. If you want to talk about any of these topics, or just submit any general Q&As, let us know. Drop it in the comments, and we're going to tackle all that at the end of the video. And next, we're going to be talking about the $52 billion movies and ranking them. Well, or not personal ranking, but kind of go through all of them with Super Mario Brothers included. So we're going to be talking about that, and be sure to join us for that here in just a few minutes. Give y'all a second to drop in any last minute questions or comments. Go ahead and drop what you think, and we will be right back as soon as I can find it. And we are back. By the way, right before we go into the main topic of the video, sorry about the short break there. Do let us know. Drop in any last minute questions, comments, Q&A kind of style, whatever. If y'all want to talk about all that stuff, we're going to tackle all the comments at the very end of the video. And with that being said, Wes, let's go ahead and move on to the main topic of discussion. So, I didn't go watch Super Mario Brothers. Kids went out and seen it. They loved it. I didn't go out and see it. Knew a few people that watched it. What did you go watch it? What did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What,
I didn't
you
know.
serious right now?
I thought I asked you, and you were like, "Oh no." What'd you think about it?
You were failing society for not seeing it.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Did you?
I thought it was great. Yeah, heck yeah, dude, it was great. Like there's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of stuff in there for people, our age that actually played the games. That like I said, the Easter eggs were probably the best thing about it. It was so good. They explained, like, what I liked about it is they explained away why they don't have the accents. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Okay.
But they did it in a great way. I'm not telling you anything about it until you go see it, jackass.
I would probably go see it. I just didn't get a chance to go see it.
Yeah.
But
see, 80s kid said I loved it.
He knows. He knows.
Amazing.
Hey, he knows what's up. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those films that, like, it's not Doom. It's not one that I'm like super looking forward to. But look, loving that people went and seen it. Well, looks like more people than just you loved it, because the film marks the newest in the $1 billion club. I had a brain fart there. And it's a very prestigious club because it's only 52. Super Mario Brothers, the movie, is now not the original in the 90s Mario movie. The new one is in the $1 billion club, and we thought it'd be kind of neat to talk about that, but also go in a deep dive in Rotten Tomatoes. Wrote a really neat little article here, but ranked the $52 billion movies from worst to best according to the Rotten Tomato. Now, we're basically what we're going to do is go through these. There is a lot. There's 52, but at the same time, with that being said, peaches, peaches, peaches. I did hear the song. I thought that was kind of fun. We're going to go through here and start at number 52 and move all the way up to the top. Again, this is ranked by Tomato Meter, and we are going to talk about just our quick thoughts on the film as we go. And feel free to jump in the comments and let us know your thoughts on that as well as we dive in through this. All right. So, Wes, starting off with number 52, again, according to Rotten Tomatoes, is Transformers: Age of Extinction. Wes, what are your quick thoughts on Transformers?
Yeah, it's awful. We can go on. That one's awful.
This one I did not like. It was one of those movies though where like the Transformers, like new trailers would come out and you knew it's like, oh, I hated the last one, but the trailer was dope. And they like pull you back in, right? And they even did that with The Last Night, but I think this was the first one with Mark Wahlberg. And I mean, it was just a big visual mess of this film, but I mean, it is what it is. All right, so moving on to number 51, Jurassic World Dominion. Wes, what'd you think about Jurassic World?
Oh no!
Hey, what's up, Pyramid?
I actually liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you like it?
But I have a thing with that. So like my son was in the hospital for a long time, and that's why I have to do stuff with him at like 11 and all that good stuff. But we were in the hospital for a long time, and like my kid absolutely like loves
dinosaurs
World and loves dinosaurs. So like it kind of holds a little thing in my heart, man, because like I do enjoy it. Now, was it a good movie? No, it wasn't a good movie. But do I like watching it with my son and seeing him like light up every time he sees it? Yeah, of course. So that's what I'll say about that one. We can go on.
It wasn't one of my favorite. Like I didn't love. Sorry, I had to fix them here. I didn't like. It's not that I hate and crap on the Jurassic Park movies. I honestly, I know people crap on Jurassic Park 3. I get a kick out of the third one with William Macy and a couple of other familiar faces there. I thought it was kind of actually pretty fun. If I'm not gonna lie here. But the Jurassic Park movies, I know this is World, I get that, but it's still Jurassic Park. Love the first one, like virtually everyone else. The second one, Lost World, I liked it. I liked it a lot actually, but it wasn't Jurassic 1, right? Then you had Jurassic 3, and then we got into Jurassic World. I think there's only 5, right? Including Dominion. Is that 5? 5 movies? This is the one I didn't see. I did not see the one from last year. The first Jurassic World, I liked. I liked a lot, but it wasn't Jurassic Park. Like I didn't come out of that movie going, "Oh, a new Jurassic Park movie." It was just like, "Yeah, that was cool," you know. But it is what it is. All right, so moving on to number 50, we got Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Wes, you're gonna have to fill me up on this one. Is this that came out so wrong? Is this going to be?
I'm not going to fill you up with anything, sir.
Why not?
This is not that kind of show.
Feel me. Yeah, it's a wrong. This is the wrong stream. That stream's happening on the after video.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Which now I know this was not the first one, but which one was this one? Do you know?
I didn't ever watch it.
Okay, I don't think I've seen this one either.
One.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. I love the first one. I really like the first one a lot.
Yeah.
The other ones I didn't love. I just can't remember if I seen this one or not. To be honest, it's all of a big blur to me. But yeah, 33%, and it doesn't surprise me. Going on to number 49, Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Another Trans-Suckformers. That's what's going to be called from now on. Outside, other than Bumblebee, I get a kick out of the first Transformers movie. I liked it a lot. You and I, huge Michael Bay fans. So the first Transformers movie, quite good. Dark of the Moon, very forgettable. Again, just like Revenge of the Fallen, the one we just talked about earlier. Didn't love it, but it is what it is. And again, you all drop comments on these movies as we go here. Let us know your thoughts on those as well. All right, moving to 48, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Oh no, there's 3. So there's 6 movies. Jurassic 1, 2, 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. Okay, I didn't know there were 3 of them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, there's 3.
Yeah. Once again, this is another one that I'm partial to, just because.
Right, because your son, I get that.
Yeah. Well, he would, dude. So if you've seen the movie, like the volcano erupts and it go. Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
So my son has I'd say over 200. Like those Jurassic World toys and stuff like that.
Like made like a set of all that.
Dude, he would recreate that. He would recreate it. The volcano scene, like basically the water was our like hardwood floors, and the carpet was whatever. So like whenever it was coming on the screen, he would just shove all of them on the hardwood floors and be like,
"That's pretty funny." That's pretty funny.
He's even got the gyrosphere with the figures that roll, and it's remote control. It's pretty baller.
Okay,
it's pretty baller. That's like it.
Pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. I mean, now this one, Fallen Kingdom. To be fair, this one I did see quite a bit of it, kind of like in bits and pieces as it was on TV. But I didn't see it in its entirety. I love everybody involved. I mean, I really do, but it's just it's not my favorite franchise. So I mean, I'll go back and watch the first one maybe once a year. But these other ones, I'm like, pass. I'm good. But yeah. But by the way, Pyramid Ace Kid, we're going to catch all these after we do this segment, but feel free to keep on chucking them in there. We'll get to those as soon as we wrap up this segment. All right. So with 47 at 51%, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Wes, first question. Is this Rotten Tomato score too low?
No. No, it's not.
About right where it should be.
It's not
and
low
50%
enough.
Ain't bad, right? It's not horrible.
It is not low enough.
It's not horrible though. 51%.
Darth Maul is the only one.
Darth Maul
is the only cool thing about that movie.
Yeah. That fight, bruh. That fight. And by the way, seeing as how we talked about Phantom Menace, so for some reason I thought we were not going to stream tomorrow night. So our main topic was going to be ranking the 11 live action Star Wars films, ranked worst to best. Wes was going to give his, I was going to give mine. We were going to talk about them, throw it to the chat, all that kind of good stuff. And then Wes was like, why are we not recording tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. I thought we weren't. He said, no, we are. I'm like, okay. So that is going to be scheduled for tomorrow in honor of May the 4th. Be with everybody. So be sure to check us out for that video. So Phantom Menace, I remember going to that one in theater. It was actually my first live action film that I remember going to the theater for. The first animated film my parents took me to was The Lion King. And this was the first, this is my first film that I remember as a kid seeing in the theater was Phantom Menace. So I thought, going to the event as a 6-year-old kid, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I actually found some pictures the other day of me wearing a Darth Maul mask with the new dual wield lightsaber, and it's just freaking dope. And it just brought me right back. The film is terrible. The film is not good.
I told you.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Build this up.
I know, I'm building it up. I'm talking about my experience, okay? Experience.
All right. No way.
So with number 46 is Alice in Wonderland. Wes, did you catch this one? What do you think?
Alice in Wonderland made $1 billion.
There's going to be some shockers on here. Yes, it did.
Oh my god!
Yes,
no, I didn't like this. I thought it was
like
all. No, I didn't like it.
I'm not really big in the Alice in Wonderland like mythology and lore. I'm the worst person to ask about. Like, I probably feel like my wife whenever I talk to her about Marvel stuff. I'm probably the same way if someone talks to me about stuff like Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, I have no idea. The only thing I remember is the two twins. Like, like how weird was that? But it is what it is. All right, why this film is this low, I have no idea. Is The Lion King at number 45, Wes, with a 52% Rotten Tomato score. What do you think of this? You are shocked. You are shocked, my friend.
Hold on. Donald Glover, this is the new one.
Yeah, that's the new one.
No, that's fine.
Dude, it was a beat-by-beat remake of the first one.
Still wasn't the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
Still wasn't the animated one. Go on. Like,
oh my God.
I thought it was the animated one. I was like, get the out
of
here.
No. That I don't think that one made $1 billion, but
it should. Kuna Matata, bitches. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I lost my composure there. All right, next. I just want to skip over this one. The Rise of Skywalker. Wes, 52% at number 44. What do you think, man? What do you think about Rise of Shitwalker?
Yeah, it was awful.
I hate, look. Wes and I are not in the, I'm going to crap on this business. Like, that's not what our channel is. We want to celebrate the things we love about movies, and we want to celebrate this. But my God, is Rise of Skywalker so bad?
It's so bad.
It is so bad. And I feel, I literally thought I was going to get a divorce, Wes. Because, and not because of her, because of me. Because I was that embarrassed. I'm kidding. I'm being facetious, but I can't talk too loud because my wife's in there and she'll be like, what are you talking about? Kevin Davis, welcome to the chat, man. But Wes, I hyped her up so much about going to the Star Wars film. Because see, when I met her, she had never watched Star Wars. And I said, look, honey, when we start getting serious, I said, look, we're going to have to put this, whatever you and I have, on hold until we watch Star Wars. Okay? I'm not saying you have to like it, right? Because that's all subjective. She does, she don't, whatever. But you're going to watch Star Wars. You're going to watch Lord of the Rings. She loves Lord of the Rings better than Star Wars, which, hey, no problem with me. We binged all the films, the live action films. She loved Rogue One. She loved, dude, I will never forget her standing out. And we'll talk about more about this tomorrow for May the 4th.
Like, we got to talk about this tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I know. But I just, okay, I'll save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, so, come on, man.
Little cliffhanger there, a little Star Wars. But yeah, Rise of Skywalker. I took her to watch this, and we took the kids, and I remember putting a big Instagram post about, like, can't wait to take my wife. It's going to be her first live action Star Wars film in the theater. Like, it's going to be an experience for her. And I came out like, what did I just take her to? Like, it was so bad. So bad. I can't with this film. Anyway, next. It's so bad.
I'm trying to get you to not ramble tonight.
I know. We got to hit that 2 hours. Number 43, we got Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man's Chest at Rotten Tomatoes of 53%. I love this. Gone is depths, unpredictability, and much of the humor and originality of the first movie. I love the critic consensus there. I had to read that. Wes, you didn't watch this one either, or
No, I watched this one.
did you like it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't
Curse of the
bad
Black
though.
Pearl, is that the first one? Curse of the Black Pearl, I really enjoyed. Like that one's great. I really
Mm.
like that one. Number 42, we got Minions, 2015 at 55% Rotten Tomato score. I'm not gonna lie, man. I got a kick out of the Minions. Took the kids to watch that one. They were
I
very,
like
very
the
little at the
Minions.
time. I thought it was great. Why does it have a Rotten Tomato score? I don't know. I personally wouldn't give it a 55. I would give it a big thumbs up. Even though that's not really how Rotten Tomatoes works, but is what it is. Anyhow, let us know what y'all think about the Academy Award winning Minions. All right, we got at number 41, we got Aladdin. 57%. Wes, you're shaking your
Don't want
head.
to talk about it.
Don't-
That
I'm
was
not gonna
awful,
lie.
too.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see this one. I
Good.
didn't see it.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
Read the synopsis. You'll be fine.
I love the original. Do you like the
Yeah,
original?
well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Not
Original
good. Really.
over this.
How was Will Smith? And did Aladdin keep his wife's name out of his mouth?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Nice.
See what I did?
No, it was no. Will Smith was. I mean, he did it. He did okay. He's
And,
no Robin.
and not saying you're right, I was
He
about to
doesn't
say
have to be. He doesn't have to be.
it doesn't
but
have to be his own
He did okay.
take. He did.
He
Okay.
did all right.
I kind of want to watch it just to see him do that, but all right, we got Despicable Me 3, another Minions movie at number 40 with 59%. Wes, what did you think of this one?
I loved all
it?
them. I loved all the Despicable Me.
I laughed at all of them. I thought they were all clever and cute and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. And we hit our newest film in the $1 billion club at number 39, Super Mario's brother. The Super Mario Brothers movie. No, I cannot. Wes, I think kind of talked about all this. Again, quick thoughts. What did you think about Super Mario Brothers?
It was great. Later, 80s kid. Thank you for joining us again. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow for May the 4th, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your quick thoughts on Super Mario Brothers? I didn't see it.
Dude, I loved it. Like I said, if you played the game, like if you played any kind of Mario games or any kind of Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever you played as a kid, being my age, there's a lot of good Easter eggs, a lot of good throwbacks, and I was worried. I was worried before because they were like, well, Chris Pratt's not doing an Italian voice, and I was like, well, I wouldn't want him to. I wouldn't want him to fake that, but get an Italian actor, and then they explained it in the thing, and I'm like, okay, all right, like you know what I'm saying. So they explained why they're not, and it was good. So I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch.
You got a kick out of it. I mean, like I said earlier, I think I'll end up watching it, but yeah, I mean,
do yourself a favor, go watch it.
Go watch it. Well, here our first non-rotten, and then the rest of these will be obviously high rated, but not in the rotten section. Is at number 38, we have The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Wes, what did you think about the Hobbit movies and this one in particular?
You tell me. I didn't watch it.
Really? Not Lord of the Rings. Next. Yeah, didn't love it. Didn't love it. Aquaman at number 37 with a 65%. Wes, what do you think of Aquaman?
It was fun.
It
was fun. I didn't mind it at all.
I got a good kick out of it.
Amber shit the bed heard was, all right. All right.
Look, I really liked Aquaman. I think a little more than maybe I should. I got a big kick out of it. I love at the end when he brings the whole fish army. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. And they even done the little CGI like animation, how they did in the original cartoon with the big circles going out to communicate with the fish. I thought that was a lot of fun. It was great. So next we have The Fate and the Furious at number 36 with 67%. Majority of people like this one, man. What did you think?
You know what I think about this. Fast and Furious. We've talked about it before. Stop making them.
Hey, people quit going to watch them. People quit making them. I mean,
stop after they should have stopped after Fast 2. So
I still think they should have named 10 Fast 10 your seatbelts. All right.
Oh my God.
The Incredible Joker sitting at number 35 with 69. I see what you did there. 69%. Wes, what'd you think of Joker?
Amazing.
It's great.
Amazing movie. I loved it.
It's more of a character
Can't wait.
study than like
Yeah, yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
And I
but
can't wait for the second one to come out.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that movie.
I got a big kick at Joker. I've only seen it once, and
It's very dark. I liked it.
very disturbing.
Yeah,
It's
disturbing. That's what I mean by
well,
dark. But
yes, but that's what my wife and I looked at each other when we came out of the film, and I was like, "Honey, what'd you think?" And she went, "That was disturbing." I'm like, "That's exactly the thought, like the feeling that you have throughout the film
yeah,
is it's very disturbing, it's unsettling, it's but yet riveting and great storytelling all at the same time." And Joaquin Phoenix brought home finally an Academy Award for Best Actor. And look, I think it's great. I think Joker's fantastic. And I wish Marvel would do more, or I wish they would do these. Period. Do these not self-titled, but do these kind of standalone movies. I wish Marvel and Disney would do that, but they probably won't. But it is what it is. All right. So at 34, we got Jurassic World, the first one that I thought we were talking about earlier. Came out in 2015 with 71%. Wes, I'm gonna guess on a limb. You've seen this one?
yep. I've probably seen these movies. I've probably seen the Jurassic World, Dominion, and the other one. I've probably
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom. I've probably seen those about about. I'm not even going to joke with you. Probably 70 times.
Really?
Like legit. Yeah. Like I'm talking on repeat at the hospital and stuff. Like I can quote it pretty much.
That one,
So,
I mean, going to one. I watched
but
this one
like
twice.
I said, I'm impartial with them because I
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what we had to watch. So
Like with Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, I should say. We talked about that the other day. Just give us movies sometimes when you do a movie like this. Like, we don't care about the people. Just, I want to see dinosaurs just eat people. I want to see them ruin someone's day. Like, that's what I want to see. And that's what Jurassic Park 1 was. It was dinosaurs ruining people's day because the doctor had to reinvent dinosaurs and bring them back to life. And yeah, it is what it is. All right. So the newest, or the next, I should say, Disney film at number 33, Beauty and the Beast remake. Wes, what'd you think of this one?
I liked it.
Did you?
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I did. I mean, and I like musicals, but now the original is always going to be better. That's just my personal opinion. I love all the old, animated films.
Sweet. Original's
And
great.
the original's great, but this one I really enjoyed too.
Right.
I liked it. They
Now-
gave Beast his own song. Like
Yeah.
there was subtle
Stevens.
differences, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan Stevens as Beast, I thought was really cool. And I think, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the original Beauty and the Beast was the first animated film to be nominated for Academy Award for Best Picture. I think. I could be wrong, but I think that was the first animated feature to be nominated. I think. But yeah, the new one, the live action, I thought it was fun. Emma Watson was good in it. I know a lot of people kind of were very critical about it, but according to its percentage, I mean, critics generally loved it. The next film we have on here, which Wes we talked about the other day, at number 32, we have Avengers: Age of Ultron, the first fresh rating on this list. Wes, I know we could talk Marvel all day, but what'd you think about Age of Ultron?
All Avengers movies are amazing.
They are. And
Good.
I forgot what the topic
Great.
was. I forgot the
watch.
topic was the other day, but I think I had said it that Age of Ultron to me gets better each time I watch it.
Yeah.
It's so good. And just like Avengers Endgame, with this film, I prefer the first half over the rest. Like Avengers Endgame, which we'll talk about later. I loved all the goodiness comic book stuff we got at the tail end, like with the final battle, right? But it was the first half of Endgame that I thought was the best parts, just in my opinion, especially the first 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, especially like when they're at Clint's house or the Stark Tower and they're all drinking and you got Stan Lee calling Thor a girl or whatever he called him. And Avengers Age of Ultron, I think is fantastic. And I got to watch this a little bit early when I was in the army at the time, and we got to watch this a little bit early. We got to watch this a little bit early, a couple weeks before its release, around the time critics started seeing it. And I remember just walking out and going, "That was good, but I didn't love it." But every time I watched it after that, I thought it was even better and better and better as it went on. But
Paramedia says Age of Ultron is like fine wine.
like fine
Facts.
wine, absolutely.
It's better with age.
It gets better. At number 31, we have Avatar: The Way of Water. Wes, I think you finally got a chance to see it. What'd you think?
Wasted 3 hours. Movie's way too long, bro. Way too long.
Well, story though. Like what? How does it compare in comparison to the first one?
Garbage compared to the first one.
Really?
For me.
Really? I heard.
But I mean, I got hot takes, guys. If you don't like it, it is what it is.
That's why we're the usual skeptics.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it, no.
I mean, I still want to come out and see this one. Like we've said repeatedly, Wes and I have trouble getting to the theater where we're at because it had been severely affected by COVID, and it really sucks around here. But
hadn't bounced back yet, but hopefully
it ain't bounced back. But hopefully we will soon with all the good stuff coming out. All right, so the next one we got Frozen 2019. Sorry, Frozen 2. Frozen 2 at number 30 with 77%. Wes, what do you think about Frozen 2?
I liked it a lot.
I like Frozen
the first
2 a lot.
one. I like both of them so much.
So I love the first one better than the second one.
Yeah, me too.
But dude, I teared up like a baby at the end where they're where Elsa's singing the song and her mom comes in and sings with her. It's that one of the last songs, and I'm just like, my goodness. I'm getting chills. So I'm getting chills thinking about it. Yeah, Idina Menzel and Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah,
singing.
Evan Rachel Wood. Bro, and so great.
Oh, the music so swells great. And it's just so good. I love that part of the movie. All right, so this one might be a little controversial. So next we have Iron Man 3. Wes, what do you think about the third installment of the Iron Man franchise?
Oh man,
I know. I don't think we talked about this on air yet.
I don't know,
or in any video.
I like this one better than I did too. But like the original Iron Man's the GOAT.
I could see liking this one better than 2. Shane Black, I think his approach was very Shane Black-ish, and had a lot of that Shane Black humor, had a lot of its, had a lot of good stuff in it, but it wasn't great. Like there were some story elements where I'm like, doesn't make sense, but we'll go with it. I actually got a lot of people complain about it, but I actually got a kick out of the Mandalorian, about the Mandarin reveal. Like I got a kick out of it when he's like, "My name is Trevor," and then he comes and then he shows up in Shang-Chi, and it's like, oh my god, how they just carry that. I thought it was great. By the way, we got a couple more people watching. If you so we're going over the $52 billion movies, ranking them from going by this Rotten Tomatoes article here. If you want to jump in any comments or questions or anything, let us know. We're going to tackle those at the very end of the video, so go ahead and fire those on in and let us know what you think about Iron Man 3. I liked it. Like I said, I got a kick out of it. All right, so at number 28 we have Captain Marvel. Wes, what do you think about our Brie Larson?
I really enjoyed this movie, but I'm a 90s kid at heart, so like the music.
Oh yes,
the music was amazing.
Yep.
Like the soundtrack's great.
It was.
I like it's not at the level of the first Guardians soundtrack, but dude, it's up there for me. Like I really, and I had a fun time watching the movie because it once again it throws back to whenever I was growing up in the 90s, and it's got all those old
haircuts
tech and stuff, and the blockbuster and like all that stuff that's like, holy crap, dude, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. You know what I mean? Like, so,
the Stanley cameo was so great. All the Stanley cameos is great, but one of my favorites.
That one though was I think was his last one.
Endgame was his last one.
That's right.
But Captain Marvel, that was the second to the last one. And in Captain Marvel, I love when he's sitting on the bus. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the script that he was reading, wasn't it Mallrats? didn't he have the Mallrats script in his hand or something like that? I think that was Kevin Smith's kind of homage to that. I thought was really cool. But yeah, Captain Marvel, I love. I'm not gonna put it on the top echelon of the MCU films, but definitely in the, I would say, lower bracket. And we're also going to be ranking the MCU films next week after Wes and I both see Guardians. We'll probably do that next Wednesday night, and Tuesday we'll do the spoiler review and discussion there. So, yeah, Captain Marvel I thought was great. And Wes, this is news to me. Look at this next one at number 27. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. When in the world did this film make $1 billion? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying how.
How could it not make $1 billion, bro?
But it was the first film.
It doesn't matter. Do you know how many people have watched this?
I get it. The book was. I mean, it was like a class in and of itself. Like they made it a requirement to read the first Harry Potter book at the time, and I think I was in. Oh God, what grade was I in? I think I was in 3rd grade when this came out, and I remember reading this, and I liked it. Now, Harry Potter isn't one of my favorite franchises. That's not to say I don't like it. It's just not for me. Like, I haven't watched a Harry Potter movie, and I've seen several. I've watched the first one, and I like the first one a lot. I think the first one doesn't hold up as well with visual effects, and that's fine. I don't bring that as a negative, but I watched this one I think a year ago, and I think it holds up, like narrative wise and its story and its characters and stuff. So I got a kick out of it.
I watched the whole series like at least once a year. Yeah,
I've watched I've watched several of them. Like I watched I think the first 3, and then I watched the last 2, I believe. And
the Sirius Black one's my favorite though.
I hear good things. Yeah, I hear good things about that. My wife's a huge Harry Potter fan, and she tries to get me to see those all the time. All right, Wes, we'll probably skip over this one right quick. Furious 7. What do you think about Furious 7?
Can we skip it? Just go. I don't
other than the MCU, Wes, is Fast and the Furious franchise have the most films in the $1 billion club? I'm asking because I don't know.
And I don't care. This one, that's the one where they went to fucking building, from building to building. How stupid can we be, people?
Is that the one where
it's a damn car?
Is that the one where Vin Diesel brings down those chains and stuff?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was horrible. All right. Next at number 25, we got the first Avatar movie at 82%. Wes, I think you and I can agree this film is fantastic.
Paul Walker. Yeah, I get it. But let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go. No, I do. I really, 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 really love this first movie. My wife still has never seen it. She wants to. We just haven't had a chance to go see it. It's right there on Disney Plus. I don't know how you don't have a chance to see it.
You have 3 hours that you can sit there.
That's true.
Jesus Christ, I took 4 naps doing that.
Took 4 naps. Anyway. All right, next we got Rogue One, a Star Wars story at number 24. Wes, we're going to talk about more of these tomorrow. So what are your quick thoughts about Rogue One?
Loved it.
Rogue One
was amazing, bro. We're going
to hold off on the Star Wars movies, but other than Rise of Shitwalker, that one's bad. But yeah, Rogue One, fantastic. All right, so next we have let's see. There we go. Avengers Infinity War at number 23. Wes, man, what's there to say about Infinity War? I mean,
this is way low for me.
It's too low.
This is too low.
This is too low.
This is the first one where I'm like, holy shit, like this is way low for this. That should be at least in the top 15, if not top 10. Just saying. I feel the same way watching that movie as I did whenever I walked into the theater, and that's the same way I feel about Endgame.
And I think that's what we talked about a night or two ago, how, or was it last week, where I was telling you I had got a new TV, and I like to do a little color test and sound test, so I threw it on. Was it last night? I threw it on, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pop the first 20 minutes, because it has real deep blacks in the first part when he's talking to Loki and all that. But it also has bright colors, so I wanted to see that contrast, right? And it gives me an excuse to throw on Infinity War. So I throw it on, and the next thing I know, credits. And I'm like, man, it's such a great movie. Infinity War is great. It's so good. So yeah, and we'll talk more about our in-depth MCU ranking next Wednesday. So, all right, next we have arguably one of the best comic book movies, but yet controversial, is The Dark Knight. Sorry, I thought that was The Dark Knight, but The Dark Knight Rises. Wes, what do you think about Dark Knight Rises, the third installment of the Dark Knight trilogy?
Um, it was not my favorite out of the three.
It could have been.
It could have been better.
Yes. I liked Bane in it, though. Bane was
no.
menacing.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Great movie.
There were great stuff in it.
Great movie.
Yeah, there was great stuff. Yeah.
It just wasn't my favorite out of the three.
Yeah, solid movie.
Solid movie. I really enjoyed it. But it wasn't my favorite out of the three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't my bottom though either.
Right.
So
now this is one of the few comic book tentpole movies that I did not see in the theater. I was in AIT, Advanced Individual Training, in the Army at the time, and I did not see it, or I was in basic right before that. Either way, it came out while I was in training. I couldn't go, and I was able to watch it when it came out on VOD, and I was watching on my laptop, and I was like, my goodness, this film is no, I was in basic, and then by the time I got to AIT, it came out on VOD, and it came out, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, and that was my first thought, right? Once it ended, I'm like, this is a solid comic book movie. It's a solid movie, but boy, does it not hold a candle up to The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. I hear some people contend that Batman Begins is better than Dark Knight, which isn't. Look, I know it's controversial, but I don't have a problem with people who do think that one's better. But that's just me.
That's okay. Good.
And next, but I got a kick out of it. One of my wife's favorite movies, Titanic, at number 21. Wes, what do you think about Jack and Rose?
You know what? They did it right. They did it right. They had a fucking intermission for a movie that was almost 3 hours long. Guess what? Whale water. Learn something.
Well, to be fair,
that's why you're so fucking low right now, because you didn't have an intermission.
That's true. But to be fair,
dummies.
Titanic wasn't the only film in theaters to ever have an intermission. Like, I still remember Lord of the Rings having an intermission.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
But Avatar
they had
2
intermissions. Learn something, people.
For the record, I'm against intermissions, but there are good arguments to have them. There are good arguments to have.
Oh my god, I do remember this was one of the first, films that I had that came in like 2 VHSs. Like,
yeah, I still have it.
VHS.
I still have it. It's in the closet,
like this big.
Yeah,
it's like a double VHS, and you have to like pop the other one in.
See, when I was a kid, I thought it was a sequel, and as I got older, I'm like, this is one fucking movie. I'm like, it's so big you couldn't fit the full film on VHS. Kids don't even know what that is anymore. All right, so moving on to number 20, Wes, we have the first Frozen. We talked about Frozen 2 a while ago. What did you think about the first one?
Amazing.
It's great.
So good.
It's great.
So good.
Man, the Olaf, I don't really care for Olaf. I know I'm like being kind of cynical when it comes to Olaf. I was kind of hoping he stayed melted, but
music's great. The music's great.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude, it's
so
fantastic. Good. Let It Go. Yeah. This movie's fantastic. All right. So moving on to number 19. Oh my gosh. And it's so hard not to talk about this one right now. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War at number 19. Wes, quick thoughts. We'll save it for next week, but what do you think about Civil War?
Very, very good. Very good.
Masterpiece of its genre. Captain America Civil War is just one of those films where it's so... I was hearing so much hype going into it, and seeing Spider-Man in the trailer, because they announced it, right? They announced, hey, Sony and Disney made a deal. Spider-Man's going to pop up in Civil War. And when they released that next trailer, and then he's like, hey, everyone's like, oh my God. So if you get a chance, I'm not a big fan on trailer reactions, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I get a kick out of trailer reactions for the Civil War trailer, because it is pretty dope. and we'll give more thoughts on that next week when we do our MCU ranking. So our next film at number 18, we got Spider-Man: Far From Home. Wes, what do you think about this one?
Loved it. I loved it.
Far From Home was I thought it was a good follow up to Endgame. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was quite good. That was quite good.
Yeah, dude, because you get him in a raw state where he doesn't have Tony anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then like he's having to deal with that and deal with the fact that he's like, I just lost one of my best friends and somebody and a mentor who helped me out and did all these things. Yeah, I really liked the movie.
I liked it a lot.
But we're gonna talk about it more.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. If you're wondering, if you're catching us a little late, why we're not really talking about the Marvel films right now or the MCU films right now is because we're doing our ranking post Guardians 3. I'm going to see it on Friday. Wes is going to see it on Tuesday, and we're going to do a full kind of a breakdown ranking of the MCU films, starting with Iron Man all the way to Guardians 3 on next Wednesday, a week from today. So let's go ahead and move on to this one. Oh my God. What, dude? At number 17, Avengers. Bruh. What do you think about the Avengers?
Where it all started, baby.
It's where it all started, baby. This film opens up with Project Pegasus and goes from there. Man, oh no, I'll save it. I'll save it for next week.
No, you gotta save it.
I gotta save it. All right, Wes, we'll talk about more of this tomorrow, but what do you think about number 16's Star Wars The Last Jedi?
You know, it had good things going for it. And then the Rise of Skywalker shit the bed. So I'm just saying. It had good things going.
This film is controversial. But I'm with that 91 percentile. I will say that. I give it a huge thumbs up, and a thumbs up, thumbs down world, which is pretty much what Rotten Tomatoes is anyway. Huge thumbs up for me. I really, really, really liked, almost love The Last Jedi, but that's just me. And again, we'll talk about more of the Star Wars tomorrow for our live action 11 live action Star Wars rankings for the movies tomorrow. All right, so there it is. Jurassic Park made $1 billion.
Hell yeah, it made $1 billion.
Wow, look at that. It had to have been because of re-releases, right? I mean, it had to. It didn't make $1 billion in '93, did it? I mean, I guess it did. But Wes, what do you think about the first one?
Dude,
so
I've
started
probably
it all,
seen this
man.
one probably about 30 times.
Now, this one I love. This one I legitimately love. Like, it's certainly one of the classics. You got Spielberg in there. Yeah.
Original Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
The kids were great acting.
It's great.
Dude, it was great. Dude. First time you see the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes. And it's ripping up the banner.
And then like, so cool. Was that the one that had
it attacked Newman. It attacked Newman from Seinfeld. Yeah, is his name Newman in Seinfeld? I think it is. Yeah, attacked Newman. He was in that little truck, and that little thing was like, had the shaving cream. Remember, he had the stuff in the thing. That was pretty cool. Really love Jurassic Park. I mean, but it's a classic. What else is there to say? So I was a little late to this one, but we got Skyfall at number 14, a James Bond flick. Wes gives us a chance to talk about James Bond. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed Daniel Craig. Craig is
such a great run
as James Bond, bro. So good. Oh man, this is probably my favorite one.
Oh, I think this one is arguably like everyone's. I mean, not everyone using hyperbole, but most. I think Daniel Craig, James Bond fans will say Skyfall is the best of all of them. No Time to Die. I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't get a chance to watch that one. That was still in the midst of COVID and stuff like that. Didn't get a chance to watch it. I do know how it ends, so it is whatever. But such a good send off though, from what I heard and all that. Yeah. And you know, if you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna say it, but a lot of good stuff there. And you know, James Bond is something that's totally up my alley though. With, you know, you have this suave character who, you know,
up your alley. Are you a suave character, son?
I'm a suave character. Chef kiss. No, James Bond is a character that, you know, in that franchise would be so up my alley, but because I was so late, the further I was separated from the films, the more I just was like, well, I didn't catch it, so I'm not going to watch it now. But when I finally went and started catching up, I'm like, oh my god, Casino Royale! I really dug Casino Royale. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, Skyfall is fantastic. Arguably one of the, probably one of the, if not the best film in this list. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, the reigning undisputed champion of the most Academy Awards in history. It swept that year. Wes, what do you think about Lord of the Rings: Return of the King?
So good.
Like
So good.
you can't describe it. You can't
Yeah,
describe
dude,
this.
it's so good. And that, like, the whole Lord of the Rings it was really, really good. I love it.
It's
Love it.
great. That Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is. I remember seeing this one. I remember seeing all of them in the theater, but seeing this one in the theater, man, I was so giddy. There's actually two 6 scale figures that I'm getting of Strider and Gandalf the White and Gandalf the Gray. But it's from Return of the King. It's such great figures. I love how the movie ends, even despite it having like 13 endings.
Yeah, right.
It's got a couple. It's got more than one ending. You know the way it plays out, but no, it's fantastic. And if you haven't seen the extended edition, I recommend it. But the original theatrical cut is fine. Return of the King is just, oh my god, probably love this movie more than Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6. Like I really do. I think this film is far superior in its storytelling, in its world building, in its from a technicality standpoint. Yeah, Star Wars broke the ground right for visual effects, but Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. This film is just it's just so good. So I hope we get to talk about it again soon. Um, at number 12, we have Incredibles 2. Wes, what do you think about the Incredibles franchise? Yes. A-okay. Yeah, Incredibles 2. I was so excited to go into this. I'm a huge fan of Fantastic Four. Sorry, Incredibles. Incredibles 1. Because it does, Wes. It does feel like Disney's version of Fantastic Four. Right? The first one, and Bill Bird just sorry, Brad Bird. I said Bill. Brad Bird. Incredibles 2 is just such a fantastic flick. And doesn't not as good as the first one, but very, very, very well done. Um, but yeah, and I've only seen it once, I think. All right, Wes, the next one on here is at number 11. We got Spider-Man No Way Home. Wes, I know we're going to talk about this next week, but what did you think about No Way Home?
I think Far From Home and that one should have switched.
Think so? You thought Far From Home was better?
Mhm.
Did you? I think as a movie, I think Far From Home was better from a technical standpoint, but No Way Home cannot take away how this film on its own took Peter Parker, the Marvel Studios version of Peter Parker's Spider-Man. It made him Spider-Man. By the end of this film, he became Spider-Man. And that's one of the things, Wes, that I really, really took away from this movie. Was the fact that this film was able to get Peter Parker, and he's not Iron Man Jr. He's not Doctor Strange's ward. He is Spider-Man. By the end of this movie, he is Spider-Man. And that to me has and I think I told you this when I came out of the theater because I had watched it just before you did. I told you, I said, Wes, this might be my favorite. I didn't tell you any context, but I said, this might be my favorite movie ending ever, like of any film. Not my favorite film, but certainly probably my favorite ending to a movie of all time. All right, Wes, again, we'll talk about this more tomorrow, but we got Star Wars: The Force Awakens at number 10. What do you think?
I enjoyed this film. I enjoyed this one. I really liked it. You know, first time getting to see I can't remember what the
Han
hell it
and
is.
Han and Chewie back.
Yeah, Han and Chewie back.
We're home.
Yeah, and like getting to see, um, Adam Driver's. It's late here, guys.
Kylo
I'm
Ren.
tired.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Yes. Getting to
I
see
thought
him for
Kylo
the
Ren
first
was a
time,
pretty good character. All the
bro,
characters
so
ended up
good.
being very flat at the end of the day by the Rise of Skywalker. Every character, even Leia, even Luke, even, and just everybody. I would say
Hmm.
everybody except Chewbacca and Han have
Hmm.
the worst storylines throughout the three films because
Yeah,
Han died in this one. Spoiler
yeah,
alert. Han died, but the way he went out, like all that played out very good. It played out for the narrative,
yeah.
right? And it was a good send off. But, you know, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow, but, not my favorite in the franchise. A lot of people loved it, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
could
mean,
see
it's not my
why, but
favorite, but like I enjoyed this one more than I did any of their sequels.
I like Last Jedi more, but that one's it. We don't want to say where we have
Oh
them, but
my
that was a little
God, just
spoiler that one.
yeah, you jackass.
All
What are you
right.
doing?
At number 9, we got Finding Dory with a 94%. Man,
Why is this so high?
I got a kick out of Finding Dory, man. I
I got a
thought
kick out of it too, but like
I
at
thought
9, it's at 9, Gabe. It's ahead of Infinity War.
it
You're talking Finding Nemo or Dory. Finding Dory is ahead of
yes, but it's oh, you're talking about the
no.
ranking. Sorry. I thought
Yeah.
sorry. I forgot what it was being ranked by. Yes, it is higher ranked than Infinity War. You know what I'm going to say. Infinity Wars, to me, I think is a better movie than Finding Dory. But Finding Dory is so good. I think it's great. I do. Sue me.
Better. You think it needs to be ranked above Infinity War right now?
Well, the way Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah. No.
is,
No. I don't give a damn how Rotten Tomatoes is. You think it deserves to be ahead of Infinity War right now? Hot take.
but I don't think I can
Say
answer
it.
that.
Nope.
I
Nope.
can't because Rotten Tomatoes
Say
doesn't
it.
work like that. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't work like
We're
that.
not talking about Rotten Tomatoes. I'm talking about your raw feelings right now. Should it be above Infinity War?
But in the
Or
sense
are
of
those
what? Infinity War
just
is a better movie.
go on to the next one. I can't with
I
you right
can't
now.
with you. All right, the film that I thought we were talking about earlier, The Dark Knight, at number 8. Wes, what do you think about The Dark Knight?
So good. That's my favorite. It's my
The
favorite out
Heath,
of the 3.
the Heath Ledger stuff, man. Like,
Dude,
if we could
Heath
just,
Ledger,
yeah, I could see doing a
so
Heath
good.
Ledger Joker film, like just Heath Ledger. Like that could work. The way they wrote the character, I think that could definitely work. But yeah, these films are fantastic. And again, what's there to say except great things? Avengers Endgame. Wes, what'd you think? Quick thoughts.
Amazing. So amazing.
Again,
Oh my God. Like I said, I feel the same way whenever I watch this movie and the
yep,
other one as I did whenever I first walked into the theater and saw
absolutely
it. Every
got
time.
all those
Every time I
emotions
tear
coming
up,
back.
yeah,
Yep,
tear up.
yep.
Every time Cap gets Thor's hammer, and you're just like, I'm like, oh my God. And if you guys have not watched, and I'm sure that you have, watched the crowd reaction to whenever they
Oh, it's
first saw it,
great. It's
it
great.
is awesome.
While
It
I'm
just it gives me
entirely
goosebumps,
against
man. Like
and
it's so
goosebumps for
good.
sure. While I'm entirely against people with phones in the theaters, I'm not gonna lie, having that reaction, just going and seeing it, it just takes you back to when you were in the theater, and if you've seen it on open night. And because there was no good seats left in the showing that I went to, I had to drive an hour away to go see it. We had the neck breaker seats where we're sitting like that the whole time, and not my best viewing experience, but at that point it didn't matter because the movie was just so good and the reactions was just so good, and it just became part of the experience, man. But yeah, and again, we'll talk about that more next week. All right, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the final film of the Harry Potter franchise, at number 6. Wes,
So
what did you think
good.
about this one?
So good. So good.
Pretty good send off.
Yeah, yeah, the whole series is amazing, I think. And but the films were love it.
Pretty top notch.
Yeah.
Um, what I think is one of the best films on this list is Black Panther at number 5. Wes, what do you think about Black Panther?
Come on, man.
There's gonna be a
Bro.
lot of MCU films on here, as we've
Come
seen a lot
on,
already.
bro.
Yeah,
Wakanda forever,
Black
baby.
Panther's fantastic. I want to save all these moments for when we do it next week. I really didn't think about that when
R.I.P.
going
Chadwick
over this.
Boseman, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's That definitely sucked. Top Gun Maverick at number 4. Wes, you and I go on just all the time about Top Gun Maverick. This film's
Dude,
great.
film is so good, and
It's
like,
so good.
dude, and I was like, oh, this is probably not going to be good. Whenever they first said they were going to come out with it, and then everybody was like, holy crap! Like coming out of like people, before it even released, there was people that see it. There's people that see movies before they come out all the time. That's how
Oh
this
yeah,
shit
yeah,
works.
yeah.
So, but everybody was like, oh my god, you have to see this in theaters. You have to see the action. You have to see, and you have to. It's so good.
Well, and two,
So
my dad was one of the people, and see, I was late to Top Gun, the first one. I was late. I didn't see it. Now I remember it being on as a kid, like we owned the DVD. I own it. I have the DVD in the closet there. I remember it being on, like Dad would throw it on. Not a like top contender, like oh one of the best films of the year, nothing like that. But it's quite good. Top Gun Maverick is, or sorry, the original Top Gun is quite good. Well, finally, when my wife and I went to see it, like the first one, we popped it on here at home. I'm like, oh my god, how have I not seen this sooner? Like it's that good. Now, is it like Academy Award worthy? No, but it's very very good. And I got, like I said, got a good kick out of it. Now, my dad, in saying all that, my dad was not the most enthusiastic about Top Gun Maverick. I have never seen him so giddy. I mean, he's been giddy about movies, like the Avengers movies and stuff like that. But I'm talking about crapping on a movie so much and then coming out of it flipping his tone. He loved Top Gun Maverick. And every time we go up, my family goes up there, usually on every Sunday afternoon. He's like, "Oh darn, I can't find nothing to watch on TV. Y'all want to watch Top Gun Maverick?" It's like, all right.
He does.
So we've seen it a lot already. All right, so I think I've seen it twice in theaters. Movie's fantastic. At number 3, we've got Toy Story 4. Wes, what think about Toy Story 4?
Here,
Very
bro.
sad. Very sad. We do have a Toy Story 5 coming.
It's so good.
It is.
So
The
good.
the
And
first one's
brings a tear to my eye every time I watch it.
every
My
time
wife refuses to watch it. She's like, I'm not gonna cry that much.
just because of the
Like
emotional.
she
Yeah.
knows she's gonna cry, dude. She's like, nah, I'm good. It's so good though. It's so good.
It's kind of like why I don't want to watch Chandler's List like every Friday night. It's because I don't want to be upset. It's like, Top Gun 4, Toy Story 4. I think is a fantastic installment in the franchise. Personally, I would rank them Toy Story 1 as the main, like this is the quintessential Toy Story film.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, and then Toy Story 4. But they're all great. Like, and they all beat each other out by just a thin margin. It's not like it's not like Toy Story 4 is down here and Toy Story 1's way up here. There's such a thin margin between them. That's just my personal ranking if I had to rank, but there's really no point in ranking them because they're all just about the same quality. But I just put Top Gun again. I'm reading Top Gun, but I'm saying it. Toy Story 1, I think, is the best of the entire franchise as a whole. A film that doesn't get talked about enough, Wes. At number 2, we got Zootopia. Wes, what do you think about Zootopia?
Oh, bro, Zootopia was so good.
It's great.
So good.
It's great. This film
still not better than Infinity War Endgame, but it's so good.
It's
dude.
not better than Infinity War Endgame, but let me tell you, Zootopia, I have a blast. He's like, what does he go? He's like, in the beginning, he's like, it's in my dinner. It's pronounced
It's
DNA.
in my dinner.
Don't tell me what I know, Travis.
Yeah, and then like she's doing her little thing, and she's like squirting the ketchup over her. So, bro, it's
like,
so great.
Yeah.
Look,
good. My kids often want to throw on Zootopia. That's one of their go-to Disney Plus movies. And dude, why not? This movie's great. It ends with such a warm, soft note, and it's just so good. We got a Zootopia sequel coming, so that will be interesting. I'm going to give people in the chat a guess, Wes, and you. What do you think the number one highest rated $1 billion film is? Anybody know? Anybody know?
David Does Dallas?
Huh? Who?
David Does Dallas?
Nope. Come on. You know.
No,
all right. I'm going to give chat just a second. What do you think the number one highest rated billion-dollar box office film is? Let's see if anyone drops it in the chat. I know there's a little delay, so let's give it just a second here. Anybody? No? I'll probably just come out and say it. All right. We'll just come out and say it.
Hold
You
on.
just want to wait? All right. Let's wait. Let's see what y'all got.
Because we're a little bit behind. I'm watching it right now.
It is a little behind. There's like I think a 20-second delay. I think it's said on here.
Yeah, it's definitely not how much it is. It's way behind.
Is it? Maybe 30.
Okay, here we go.
Pyramidia, anybody? You ready? Bum ba dum ba. You ready? Any more guesses, Wes?
Oh, Schindler's List.
If that many
The
people,
longest yard.
okay, it's water.
Bandit?
It's Waterboy. No, I'm kidding. No, nobody. No. All right, I think they fell asleep on us. All right, so the number one highest rated box office movie to date is, you guessed it, not really, Toy Story 3 at a 98%, making $1 billion. Wes, what do you think about Toy Story 3?
What?
Yeah. Highest rated. Yep.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
It's like,
at
I don't
all.
like this game.
I don't like this whole thing. I
You
don't
don't
like
like
this
this game?
list at all.
It just gives us an excuse to talk about all of them. You know, we're not really ranking them. We're just talking about them, you know. Toy Story 3, I think, is one of the best films Disney has ever put out. Dude, when they're in the incineration, the sequence with that, where they're all about to get like unalived, that's messed up, man. You talk about Jamie crying. This is the one where I'm like, oh my God. I start ugly crying. It's pretty gnarly. All right, Wes. Well, that's our $52 billion films as we went and talked about them. Wes, why don't we go ahead and talk about these folks here in the chat? Let me go ahead and give me just a second. We're going to fly through these, so just bear with us the best y'all can.
Some of these we've already talked about.
Did we? Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second, and I'll throw this over. Bless you. Bless you again.
Allergies, man.
Yeah, it's
Good gosh almighty.
it's rough. My daughter's real bad on allergies as well. Why won't this? Ah, crap. Wes, why don't you talk about the first one while we're oh, Paramedy is thinking. Oh, it is it's probably farther behind than I thought.
I told you, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I told you it's like way behind. You just don't ever want to listen to me.
I
Ever.
don't ever. I'm a terrible
Come on,
individual.
man.
I'm a terrible individual. Guys, I'm sorry about this. This is kind of just the best we can do for now, so just bear with us. But we're going to go in and do the best we can while we talk about it. All right. So, Wes, why don't you lead us off with the first one there?
Thanks. From 80s Kid.
Sorry, I meant
next one.
the next ones.
We've already went over what we're doing tomorrow for Star Wars Day. We're gonna go over the our rankings for the Star Wars movies and everything. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. Let's see. He says I can't wait for part 2. Forgot what we were talking about there. Oh, Dune part 2.
Yeah.
Word, it looks awesome. I watched today's episode just for the heck of it. I asked myself.
Oh, that's when we were talking about the Flash series.
Yeah. Did they get the original writers back? It was a great episode after all the crap we've gotten
Eesh.
in the later seasons.
Yeah, probably ain't no telling at that point.
Hashtag Gunverse. Yeah, heard. Guardians 3 looks
Gunverse?
awesome. I hear it's hilarious, action-packed, and emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Uh, 80s Kid also says Cavill was okay, but my Superman stands for hope and doesn't snap necks. My complaint is that Snyder made Superman dark. Superman isn't dark.
All right, so I just want to talk about that just for a second here. 80s Kid, I think he called it earlier. He had to go, but you know, well, Superman does stand for hope and all that kind of stuff. But you know, him snapping Zod's neck, Wes, you and I just talked about Man of Steel a few moments ago, dude. He had to take out Zod. He was going like, where are you going to put Zod? Where are you going to put another godlike creature? Where? Where are you going to put him? Oh, send him out into space. He'll find his way back. It took him how many years to find Earth? 30 something years. And he found Earth. He'll find it again. Like, there's no place like, and he even said it in the movie, dude. It's even in the dialogue. He said, nothing can hold me. Your prisons can't hold me. I will kill you. He said, I will. Yeah. So he had to do that. And for people to this day, I'm not coming at you, 80s Kid. It's not like that. But all I'm saying is why are people still caught up in that, Wes, where people are like, oh, it's, Superman can't be that dark. And it's like, you're missing the whole point. He had to take care of that threat. He had to take out Zod. Wes, what do you think about that? Do you agree with 80's sentiment there?
I actually like the darker side of Superman. A little more adult oriented. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's
it's a very adult moment for sure. But it's something that had to be done in order to carry out the narrative. It's not like Superman was just willy-nilly snapping people's necks. He had to take out Zod. He was the ultimate threat. So to have people bag on that, again, 80s, I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying I hear a lot of people that are like, they'll die by that, and it's like, no, like Superman does not need to do that. It's like, dude, this isn't the 30s. Like this is the Superman that they wrote, and whether you liked it or didn't like it, that's all subjective. That's fine if you just simply didn't like it. But the fact that why he had to do it, that's why, and that's what had to happen. So, Wes, you want to take the next one there?
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so 80s Kid also says the Avengers cartoon you mentioned yesterday was from 2013 called Avengers Assemble. The show I mentioned came out in it was so much better because it was 90% of the comics.
I got you. Did we catch 80s Kid comment from earlier? I want villains like Brainiac, Metallo.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that was down below.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, those, I mean, as long as they're written good, I think Wes and I have said that before. Like, we're not really on who's in what characters in what. It all depends on the script, and it all depends what the storyteller has in mind. About the cartoon you mentioned, I mean, that we talked about it a little bit last time. It was kind of fun. I got a kick out of it. Ace Kid said he loved it. Not really sure exactly what he was talking about there.
I know what Kelso would say to the critics. Emoji, then.
All right.
The other one is so much potential, wasted. What were we talking about?
Yeah, Paramedic, you might have to catch us up on that. Drop in the live chat just right quick if you can. If you're still here, drop in what you were talking about. That while we're waiting on that, we'll move on to the next stuff. 80s Kid there.
That says we don't talk about the Bay stuff.
Oh, that's from earlier.
And then Paramedic said he hadn't seen Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion was fun from 80s Kid, which we talked about all that. Nothing will replace Jurassic Park trilogy. True.
I mean,
the originals
I like
are
the
the
three,
originals, man.
Yeah, that's true.
There was 3 Jurassic Parks and 2 Jurassic Worlds before Dominion. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
He's talking about Transformers being wasted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Paramedic, you are correct. That was that was most certainly a waste. Absolutely.
Listen, 2 and 3 were okay. However, it ended for me after 1. Oh yeah, I think we're still
talking about Transformers.
No, I think we're talking about Jurassic.
Probably Jurassic Park. Gotcha. Either way, first one's great. Yeah.
It was like, wait, Dominion made $1 billion.
Yeah, it did.
That's wild.
It is wild. It's quite nutty. 80s Kid says sorry, go ahead. Sorry. I was kind
No,
of
you're
thinking out
fine.
loud.
I'm sure. The greatest, the greatest prequel. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then yes, Paramedia said my dad went to a Star Wars movie with his father, and then he took me. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty dope.
That's dope. Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What's next?
Cool, like poetry. It rhymes. I yeah. I can't remember what we were talking about.
I can't either. Sorry about that.
No
80s.
soul. No soul in the remake. I
We
remember what I
talking
was talking
Lion
about, man.
King
Yes, I think
Was it
that's.
Lion
I think
King
that's. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we're
or
talking about. For
Aladdin?
Lion.
One of those. One of those.
One of those.
Pyramid
But
might
yeah,
have to
for
help
sure.
us out with that one again.
That's why we need to do these live.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah. 80s Kid.
Yes, live.
Yeah.
1 billion box office hits, Indiana Jones style, Destiny, Little Mermaid, The Marvels.
Wait, where's this one?
That's Kevin Davis. It's up there.
Oh no, that's way ahead. I think he skipped ahead.
Nope, sure didn't. Um,
Yeah.
80s Kid says Anakin is the chosen one. 80s Kid,
Paramadia,
yeah,
No Soul in the remake. 80s, Anakin is the chosen one still. I don't see nothing about.
yeah. Well, then you can't see it. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about that, guys. I have it pulled up here. I don't see that comment.
80s Kid was saying bye. Paramadia, I'm a Sonic Sega guy, so the Mario movie did not hit as hard as it would if I grew up with Nintendo rather than Sega. Yeah, and I get that. I completely get that. So like whatever you grew up with, I mean, that's what you're
Right.
gonna lean towards whenever it comes to movies or anything else. You know
If
what
you're
I
a
mean?
fan
So
of it, yeah.
yeah, like I
For
still
sure.
listen like to 90s music constantly. You know what I mean? So I mean I listen to some new stuff, but like mostly my playlists are like all 90s like rap, rock, alternative, like all that stuff. So Hermadia, it would be a minimum 90%. Joker was superb. Oh yeah. So he was talking about the Joker movie. Yeah,
Hmm.
agreed. Um, Age of Ultron's like fine wine. Still not the best Avengers movie though. How Avatar 2 made over $1 billion is beyond me. Me too, bro. Me too. Blows my
Me
mind.
too.
And awful.
Joker was
I don't
great.
know what the hell the critics were on rating Joker as low. Seeing Iron Man 3 and Frozen 2 rated higher makes my blood pressure rise. Me too, man.
Oh my
It's,
god.
it's
Sorry, let me say it
garbage.
again. I was looking at something in the stream here. I don't know what the hell critics were rating on Joker so low. Seeing Iron Man 3, Frozen 2 higher makes my blood pressure rise.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it it sucks, but there's subjectivity for you. All right, what's next, man?
Did y'all know about Stan Lee being in the Teen Titans Go movie?
Yes,
No,
in the
I didn't.
animated, when it went to theaters, Stan Lee
Yeah.
comes up and they're like, "It's Stan Lee," and he like plays himself. It's actually kind of
Oh,
fun.
really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
look it up on YouTube. It's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty funny.
You're a hairy wizard. Nice. He says R.I.P. Paul Walker. Yeah, R.I.P. Paul Walker. Yeah, I shouted that
yeah,
out.
for sure.
Ending had me crying. It did me too, Bo, but still, like too many. I want to see a fusion of Infinity War, and Endgame, and like it be a 4 to 5 hour epic, like what is it? Zack Snyder's Justice
Justice
League.
League. Pyramid, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I mean, the difference is these two were fully finished, developed in post production, picture locked films. The first Justice League film, the Joss Whedon, I know he's not a popular name to talk about right now based on all the allegations and stuff on that, but without going into all that, Wes, I had a good kick out of the first theatrical, Justice League. I thought it was okay. There was some things where I'm like, what are we doing here? Why is Henry Cavill's mustache still there, but it shouldn't be there. Why is his lip moving this way?
That
So
was awful.
yes, and
That was awful CGI.
I know we talked about Ezra Miller earlier, but I thought I crack up because, and maybe not in a good way, but it's the moment in Justice League when him and Cyborg is digging up Henry Cavill digging up Superman's grave. And he's like, should we even be out here? You know, like I thought that was funny, but I laughed and I'm like, oh, why is this in the script? Like, this is so bad. But yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder Justice League version is far superior, but at the same time, I mean, to me, that's comparing apples to oranges at that point. But Pyramidea, I see what you're saying. I really do.
Medea, I haven't seen Titanic, but I hear great things. My favorite movie with Leo in them are Wolf of Wall Street, great movie, and Django.
Django is
dude.
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Django
so
is
good.
fantastic. I love Django so much. Wolf of Wall Street also amazing, but Django has to be probably the best of the two. I would just my personal opinion. I think Django Unchained is great. Jamie Foxx is great. Quentin Tarantino just delivers yet again another fantastic movie, and that movie just from beginning to end is so visceral and gritty, and I loved every single bit of it. All right, man. What's next?
I loved Avengers Civil War.
Yeah. Avengers
Solid 7 out of 10 for Far From Home.
Yeah, we don't really give number rankings around here, but I mean I think that's pretty. Wes, what do you think? If we were to give number rankings, how do you feel about a 7 out of 10? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, that's a fair rating.
Definitely
for sure.
up there. I mean, like I said, I don't give number rankings, but if I was, I would give it the 7 to 8, kind of maybe even 6 to 7. Yeah, I would say 6 to 7 because it's above average, right? Average 5, I would say above that. About 6 to 7. All right.
You done?
Yes. Sorry. Rant over.
Star Wars is such a roller coaster of a franchise. Laughed my ass off. Last Jedi was like when you're on a tall roller coaster and you're just waiting for the drop off, and then the Rise of Skywalker. Instead of the coaster going down, it just goes straight forward, super slowly.
I've never heard anyone describe it better than you just did, Pyramidea. Yeah. That's pretty accurate. Last Jedi was like when you're. I'm gonna have to clip that. That's hilarious. Last Jedi was when you're on a tall roller coaster and you're just waiting for the drop off, and then the Rise of Skywalker. Instead of the coaster going down, it just goes straight forward, super slowly. It doesn't even go slower. It just like starts going backwards. All right, it goes back into the Oh man, that
you get to that click, yeah, click. You get to the top, and you're like, click.
It's slowly back down. Yeah.
So next one is you got
well
4 hours to throw away. Here's Return of the King.
Throw away, Pyramidea. No. That is time well spent.
And I said at least Return of the King has an intermission. Incredibles 2 was great.
And it's funny, Wes, because in the theatrical, not in the extended cut, they actually put because the extended cut is 2 discs, right? For Return of the King on 4K, which is, sorry, I got to show this off. Look at this. Here it is. It's the 4K Lord of the Rings trilogy. Still, but I damaged it a little bit there. My wife got this for me last year for Father's Day. This is all 3 films, and here is the steelbook. I have to show this off. Sorry. Of Return of the King. This is just fantastic. Wes, it comes with all kinds of goodies. But yeah, here's the movies right here. Here they are. And it's got the theatrical cut and the extended cut. The extended cut are these 2. And where it cuts is where they actually cut in the intermission in the theatrical version. So I thought that was kind of cool. But next.
My God.
Well, I had to show it off, man. I had to show it off.
God.
All right. What's
No Way Home was an MCU milestone movie. I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
First Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. Such a good time at the movies. What I think we were talking about the The one with Kylo Ren and all. The first one,
Oh, Force Awakens.
maybe.
Oh man, that was the first Star Wars movie seen in theaters. Oh man, are you that young? 2015. When the last one came out? 2005. Revenge of the Sith. I've seen all the prequels and all the sequel trilogy movies in the theater. Was not proud to watch Rise of Skywalker, but yeah, I got to watch all those in theater. Thought it was real cool. 40th anniversary of I'm about to say Return of the King. Star Wars Return of the Jedi came to theaters this past weekend, and it done really good, by the way. But yeah. All right, what is next?
So both Finding Dory and Nemo were lovely. They were good. They were good
Absolutely.
movies.
I like both of them so much.
Paradiddle, Dark Knight, The Batman, Batman Begins, and Dark Knight Rises. That's probably his stuff.
I'm gonna say it. I think the Batman, the Robert Pattinson's better than the Dark Knight.
I hate you.
I think it is.
I hate you.
Yeah.
He's saying, he or she's saying, I'm not sure. I'm thinking, and I told you that already.
Oh yeah, I think they were talking about when we asked them to throw in the chat there.
I know what we were talking about, and I told you to hold on for a minute. Anyway.
Yeah.
My top 5 movies of 2022. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Fucking great movie. So good. That movie's amazing. Have you seen it?
Everything Everywhere All at Once? No, unfortunately.
Oh my god!
I know,
dude. Gabe,
I know.
You have to see that movie.
That's what I keep hearing. Yes,
you have to see that fucking movie, dude. It's so good.
Of course, I want to see it. Won Academy Award for Best Picture.
It's so good.
Just our state with the theaters where we're in, I never got a chance.
Don't give them about the theaters, bro. Get the.
I know, but that's what set me off. And but yes, I do need to see that. 2, The Batman. 3, Terrifier. Was that the horror film with the clown looking thing?
Yes, so good.
Blonde, the artsy filmmaking, acting. What got me? 5, Puss in Boots 2.
Put some boots, man.
Puss in Boots, man. Boots and boots.
So good.
Look, top 5 films. That's a great list. I think I didn't see Puss in Boots. Blonde. I wanted to wait on my wife to watch that one. She was really looking forward to Blonde. I heard that it was great, but there was a couple of moments in there that was very. It's just what I've heard. That was a little too much, like pushing the boundary a little bit. Obviously with the stuff with Marilyn Monroe. So that's who it was about, right? Blonde. Wasn't that
It's about Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking the right one. And yeah, but the Batman, I didn't see everything everywhere all at once. So I can't say definitively, but my favorite movie of last year was probably the Batman. It really was that good. But yeah, that's just me. What are your guys' top lists for 2022? Wes, did you read that one?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Sorry.
I thought you read stuff, and then
I thought you
start reading it, and then
Well, what's your top 5 of last year?
Top 5 of last year. Oh, crap, dude. Okay, so Everything, Everywhere, All at Once has
number
to be
1
up there. 3. Banshees. The Banshees of
Inisherin.
Yeah, that's probably number 5. Oh man, let's see. The Batman, probably number 4. Top Gun Mavericks, number 2.
I think Morbius was my favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna punch you right in the throat, dude.
I think my number. Wes, where are you thinking? I think my number 5 was. Probably Prey, the Hulu Prey.
Okay.
I think that one was dope.
Oh,
that was good.
Yeah.
That was
that
good.
Was so good.
Entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll actually be my number 5. I'll put Everything, Everywhere, All at Once at 1. Screw it. I liked it. It was really good.
I off the top of my head, I can't remember all the films from last year that I watched. Watched quite a bit, but there were a couple. It's morbid time.
It's morbid time. Jesus.
Oh my God! Stop it! You stop that. You stop that. Yeah, there was a lot that I watched, but there was several I can't remember. So Pyramid, you'll love Prey. If you
You
like,
need to watch
yeah,
Prey, bro.
if you
It's so good.
absolutely, if you like Predator at all, that's a great franchise. All right, what's next? Pyramid.
Need the usual Skeptics / John Campia show collab. Hey, I'm down.
I like John Campia. I think he's one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business, and he's what actually inspired me to uh, take that. I've always been into film and been studying film and all that kind of stuff, but it was actually John Campia who kind of and there are some others, but him specifically, since you brought him up, he definitely kind of helped me steer my way into doing this type of thing. So definitely without John Campia, probably wouldn't be doing this at all. But films have been part of my life, since I was a newborn. My parents took me to watch Lion King, and I fell in love with Jurassic Park when I was a kid. And watching the Phantom Menace and things like that, it really made me go, oh my God, I want to learn more about movies, right? And that's what kind of spin off in all this. And maybe we can do a deep dive in Wes and I on how we kind of fell in love with films. What was that like? What was that experience for us? So, but in saying all that, yeah, I mean that would be dope. But
Yeah.
John Campia is a far superior pundit than Wes and I probably ever will be. But I mean, obviously, yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, he doesn't have time for the usual skeptics. He's a little busy. But yeah, that would be have had a couple chances to chat with John Campia, and he's a really cool dude. Really chill. I like the way he conducts business and the way he does things in this movie space. So I'm a big fan. So, all right, what is next?
He said, like, whenever we were asking him about some of the stuff he said up top, it was the Transformers. The Lion King was the one who didn't have like any of the emotion, like what I'm saying,
Gotcha.
like, that stuff. I said it was a crime that Joker was 69% when I said it should be a minimum of 90. Yeah, facts.
I don't know.
Bro.
I like the
Facts.
69%. I think that's accurate.
Shut up. Shut up. They're 17. Cool. All
Yep.
right.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you for watching us.
Thank you. Thank you so
Sorry
much.
we cuss so much. It is what it is.
Yep. Gosh darn. I felt like Alan in Hangover. Gosh darn it. Kicking my desk.
Ana de Armas did actually get an Oscar for Oscar nom for playing Marilyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. And that one I still want to go and watch, and rightfully so. Ana de Armas is one of the best actresses working right now, and we're going to see her soon in the John Wick spinoff Ballerina, which John Wick will pop up in. So that'd be pretty cool to see. And there's his Morbin time comment.
So I need to watch Prey. Yes, you do. You
Yeah.
need to watch Prey. You need to
great.
watch Prey. I'll say my 2 dreams in life is to make a complete rock album and make a drama biopic movie. I want to go to both music and film school so much. Well, do it, bro. Do it.
Don't talk about it. Do it. Go
man.
now. You're young.
Look,
you're 17. It's
you're young. You're 17. It's the perfect time to do it. I'm sure you're fixing to graduate or going to graduate soon. So congratulations on that. But for sure, like go do what you want to do, man. Like, so I learned this later on in life. I'm doing what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is sitting here and talking with Gabe about movies. Whether we get 1 view, whether we get a million views, it doesn't matter to me because I'm doing this with my friend. We're talking about stuff that we enjoy,
right? And
it just gets the stuff off my chest, man. It gets stuff. So, what the biggest thing is like, whenever I was younger, I did what I wanted to do from the get go. I went to culinary school. I got 3 degrees, from culinary arts, baking and pastry, and hotel and restaurant management, and I used those to the fullest. But it doesn't matter what you want to do. Do what makes you happy.
Right.
Do what makes you
first and foremost. Yeah.
First and foremost, do what makes you happy, because a job, and I hope that you learn this now, a job is something that you love. A job becomes not a job, but just life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that you can sit here and be like, because I saw it all the time whenever I was in restaurants, man. It's like you go to restaurants, excuse me, you go to restaurants and you have these people that are just doing it for a paycheck. You got these people that are just, there just to be there. I was never there to be there. I was always there to like learn. I learned something every day whenever it came to culinary. I learned something every day from running restaurants. I learned something every day whenever I sold food to restaurants. So, whenever I do that, like, and you're going through life and you're young, like, do what makes you happy, because that's whenever it's not a job anymore. Whenever you do stuff that makes you happy.
Right.
So, that's my little rant. That's my little inspirational speech. So,
Oh man, I don't know how to
do
top that. That's some good stuff.
do what makes you happy, man, and
Yeah.
just go for it. Like, if you want to go to film school, you want to go do these things, then do it.
Right.
And find ways to do it. I'm one of those people that always says, if you're somewhere and you're not trying to get better and better and better at what you're doing, then you're missing the boat, because that's what this life is. You're trying to get better and better and better at doing things, because if you don't, you're going to stay stagnant, and then you're going to start hating what you're doing. You're going to start, you're going to have the complainers, and then, it's not what you need in your life. Get those negative things out of the way.
Right.
Like, always try to get better and better and better, and learn new things and do new things, because that's what this life is about.
That's what matters, man.
So, I've went from whenever I first started out in the restaurant business, going from a dishwasher to literally being a GM and running a whole restaurant, to being like, okay, what can I do now? So now I'm like, okay, well, I know so much about food. Like, let's go sell food and actually learn that side of the business. And I learned that side of the business.
That's how Wes and I met.
That's exactly how me and Gabe met. I sold his mom and dad own a restaurant, and I sold food to them for years. And I was very good at my job. And I did, I've done a lot, but, doing those things, I just try to get better, better, better. Now I work somewhere else and, learning another side of the business. So, I don't stop, and you shouldn't either. So that's my rant. I apologize. I'm just babbling on, but go do what you want to do, man. So, last thing, have either of you wanted to make a film or plan on making one? Gabe, I'm going to let you take this one, because I just told him what I do.
So it's funny that you brought up, how did you word it here? My two dreams in life is to make a complete rock album, which would be dope, and make a drama biopic movie, which would also be dope. Want to go both music and film school so much. Well, it's a lot of stuff there. It's a lot to unpack, but like Wes said, I mean, you want to find what you love, and you want to do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. Take risks, right? You're not going to get to where you're going to get without making some risks along the way. And, taking those risks, taking those necessary risks, you will reap the reward, because it's a win-win. You're either going to go, okay, this worked for me. I like what I'm doing. I'm going to keep pursuing it. Or you do it and you're like, hey, turns out not for me. So I'm going to go do something else. Then you're going to find a new passion, right? So it's all about how you approach it. It's all about, like I said, taking that risk. I've been to film school, attended Los Angeles Film School, doing digital film studies. It was all online, but I learned pretty much everything from directing, script writing, to producing, to all that stuff, lighting, everything. That's where I learned all the stuff that you're looking at now. I created all of this for our stream, and I was going to go off to do by myself. I tried a couple times to do, and this was kind of the format, right? This would be the whole shot, and right here would be the Voice of Film. That's the name of my personal YouTube channel, but I don't post there. And Voice of Film, and we kind of ran with it. And Wes came up to me, and after multiple times of trying it, I'm like, this is better doing it with people, right? This is better with an engagement, with a partner, with somebody who that I know that can do this. And Wes actually came up with the idea, and he was like, hey man, what do you think about doing a YouTube video? And I'm like, sounds dope. Wes came up with the name Usual Skeptics, a play on the Usual Suspects, and thought it was a really cool title, really, really clever, and we kind of ran with it, and here we are. And
And it took us about 3 weeks to kind of get
it
things
really did.
settled
Yeah,
and like
settled
do
and
things. But
made
the
the
thing
logo
is,
and stuff. Yeah.
so while I was selling his family food, like I would be at their shop for at least an hour talking to Gabe about nothing but movies, nothing but like the stuff going
And it was
on.
like that for a long time.
And it was
And
like
then,
that for years, dude. Like, dude,
yeah,
three
at
years
least.
probably that we just like literally
Yep.
every time I go in, we just talk about movies, talk about the new things coming up, talk about all this stuff. And I'm like, it finally got to a point I was like, man, like YouTube's popping off. Like, hey, and I thought about it and I just was like, hey man, like, would you ever consider doing a YouTube channel with me? And he was like,
Yeah.
bro, that sounds great. Like, let's do it. I'm like, all right, sweet.
And I immediately started working on stuff like a logo, and we send each other what you're seeing. I went out and checked on it just now. What you're seeing in the if you look at the live or look at what you're looking here. Obviously, you're watching live, but in the bottom right hand corner, you see the little Usual Skeptics logo of two, I guess, pandas. What was that? That was our original logo.
That was the original logo.
And that was kind of what we ran with. And Wes had the idea of going with more of the pop figures because that just kind of felt more us, right? Even though I got a kick out of the pandas.
Well, it is us. I mean, that is us.
That is us. That is us. So we did the pop figures of the likeness of Wes and myself, and kind of went with it. And that's the logo that you'll find on our channel and social and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to pursue that kind of thing, definitely go for it. It's definitely attainable. Wes and I aren't doing this. Look, we have families, we have kids, we have wives, we have a daily job, and we want to come here after work when we get the kids in bed, when we get the wife settled, and all that kind of stuff, and talk about movies, talk about what we love. That's what we're talking about. And the fact that we have people in the chat like yourself,
like
Paramedia,
you,
like Paramedia, 80s kid, he's been coming in back and forth to have you guys come in and chat amongst yourselves to us. It feels incredible and really. And Wes, you and I haven't talked about this yet, but how great it is to just have that, and that's all we've wanted.
Like I said, I don't care if it's just you guys. To be honest,
or if it's just Wes and
care.
myself, because Wes and me can sit here for 4 hours and talk. And here we are.
We don't care how many people it is, but like we appreciate y'all so much, man.
So much.
Because we feel like because you guys are engaged that we are doing something right. You know what I mean?
It gives
thank
us
you.
No, absolutely. And I think he's got one more comment that he dropped down there.
Where does he? I just asked you that question.
Oh, you did? Yes, you did. I'd rather you wanted to make a film. So
that's why I said I'm going to let you take this.
Sorry. So through film school, I made several short films.
Also a jackass. So
yes, I can be. I work in behavioral health field, so my mind is constantly all over the place. I'm like emotionally shut down when I get home, and I have to get to movies. It's kind of that's my medicine. That is my thing. Is I have other things, like I have my family and stuff like that. Like I get that, and that is a great emotional support line. Like yes, but there's not a feeling in the world like getting with your best friend, talking movies, the stuff we love. And yes, while family is important, I get that. Family comes first. I get it. But this is my hobby. This is what we like to do. And we had to take a hiatus because Wes and I weren't at our best. He was transitioning to a new job. I was transitioning to a new job. And we had to take a break. But we are coming back full force. Got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. And we hope y'all like it. And look, there's some stuff that we need to iron out for sure. Like what you're seeing right now. I think this is crappy quality right here. This is not product management. I don't like it, but I will do my best. Wes will do his best to make sure you guys are getting the best audio, the best look, the best design. Like we're gonna make sure y'all are getting the best, and because to us that's what matters. Is y'all making sure you're hearing us okay, that everything looks good, that we're all keeping a fresh mind on this stuff and staying on topic and talking about this stuff, and that's what's important. To have you guys in the chat all the time. And have been several days in a row now, or several streams in a row, has been fantastic. But yes, to answer your question, I have made a couple of short films in film school. I've edited several. I kind of went on an editing role after film school and kind of done my own freelance editing and stuff. So I've done more of the post production work on and I directed a couple things, but nothing serious, nothing to brag about or nothing like that. But yeah, I've done a couple and it's pretty cool. So movies, red pill or family, blue pill. So I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, Paramedia, again, thank you. It looks like that's the end of our chat. We will be back again tomorrow with the main topic being, we're going ahead and tell you guys the main topic being ranking for May the 4th, ranking the 11 live action Star Wars films. Hope you all come and check us out for that. Wes, why don't you send us off, my friend?
All right, guys. So y'all can find me at Wes Rathbone 86 on Twitter. So I do appreciate y'all again. Everybody who's watched, commented, everything like that. You guys, like I said, make us feel like we're doing at least something right. So thank you guys so much. I'm super tired. My allergies are killing me. So Gabe, I'm gonna let you send them off. But thank you, and hope to see you again tomorrow, so that we can talk about some Star Wars. And may the 4th be with you.
Yes, we are officially, at least our time, we are. It is officially May the 4th at 12:40 Eastern time. So yeah, again, thank you to each and every one of you on the chat. 80s Kid had Kevin drop in earlier. Pyramidea, thank you so much for coming back and watching this. It makes us feel like y'all want to be part of this community. We want to continue to build on this community. And if you're watching this, whether live or pre-recorded at a different date, please, if you like what you're seeing, please drop a subscription, like, share, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for chiming in with us and hanging out with us for a couple hours. We'll be back again tomorrow. My name's Gabe. This is Wes. We have been the usual Skeptics, and we will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.